What's up? What's up? What's up? I think I need to readjust my camera. First of all, it wasn't up. All right. Mika G and Blue will be in here in a moment. But today we are going to talk about sinners. So that is the conversation of the day. So if you have not seen Sinners, if you haven't seen Sinners, go. Bye. Go that way. Bye. Because I don't want this to be ruined for y'all. Because we're going to go through spoiler territory, in here. So we're going to go into all kind of spoiler territory, all of that. So we are going to talk about it. But you know how it goes. We are going to, like I said, I'm waiting for Mika and Blue to get here. I'm gonna talk about some other stuff while I'm waiting for them to get in here. But I'm gonna go ahead and start this thing. Let's go.
What does this button do?
All right. Let me see who is all in the house today. Calico, what's going on? What's up? Carol Black is up in here. What's up? What is good? And while I'm waiting for them to come in here and make sure, matter of fact, let me, because I'm gonna upload this one up here, because they could be able to set their thing up too. Let me upload this real quick. But I also want to talk about what has happened, since Sinners has came out. There's literally a post has been, well, a article has went around by a certain Hollywood trade called a Variety, and Variety sent around this information saying basically that matter of fact, I'll just show you this because this is shout to Chris Evans, not Captain America, on X, because I want to share the headline, just the headline with you guys, and show you the hypocrisy that is being. It's a lot of hypocrisy going on. I'm gonna talk about some other stuff because especially if you guys watch the channel, I was on TMZ on Friday. So there's a lot of hypocrisy going on that I'm gonna talk about today, and that I got a video that's coming, but I'm gonna share my screen real quick. I want to just show you the hypocrisy that has gone on with the Hollywood Reporter. Before I get to that, let me let you guys know what's going on here, especially at the Dre Mac Show.
Hold up, wait a minute, whoa. Stop everything you're doing. Go and hit that like button. I know this is probably your first time watching and you probably enjoying everything. Stop fucking on the channel and go and hit that subscribe button so you never miss one of my videos or one of my morning live streams. And for only $2.99 a month, you can be a part of the crew. And shout out to all my crew members that been holding it down for Dre Mac and the crew since the beginning. All right, back to your regularly scheduled program, now in service. Go. Bye.
All right, all right, all right. And Sister Pam, I actually go and look at that Law Avengers um group on X. I sent the invite there because you're the first person I've thought about when I knew we were talking about this live. Uh so most definitely go it's in the Law Avengers group. But anyway, just look at the let's look at what Variety, and this is the reason why it's you think you're like it's a false sense of progression when you're trying to progress, you're trying to get through, and look exactly how we are treated in the trades and the Hollywood. And I'm saying we because Ryan Coogler, no matter how much I make fun of him, because no matter how much I make fun of him, I'm making fun of him because I just didn't like what he did with Black Panther Wakanda Forever. But that's my emotion. He can't tell me what I'm feeling is wrong. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I still want to see him win. And I want to see him win in his own space. And it's crazy that I remember when Once Upon a Time in Hollywood came out. Everybody was talking about it. It was Oscar buzz and was this, that, and the other. Everybody was so excited. Oh, did you see what Quentin Tarantino did? Quentin Tarantino is a genius. It said Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt helped the director score one of the biggest opening weekends of his career. The film opened at $40.4 million domestic sales, right? Then you click over here. Then you click over here. Hold up. Okay. Hold on. Let me get off of there. Hold on, y'all, because I'm trying to get Mika in here too. All right. So you click off it. All right, Mr. X. Then you click over here. It says Sinners is a box office success with a big asterisk. Now, anything we do has an asterisk. You know what I mean? Ryan Coogler's original horror film was expected to sell a strong $46 million in tickets over the weekend, enough for a number one, but its profitability remains a long way off. And then it said Michael B. Jordan as Smoke, and one of the characters he plays in Sinners will cost at least $150 million to make a market worldwide, by Brooks Barnes. And I want to say, didn't he? No, Gabe Cohn did the other one. But it's funny that $40 million, the biggest box office weekend. I mean, look, it's amazing. Look what they're doing. $40 million. It's domestic ticket sales. It's a hit. But one, well, you ain't. I mean, 46 million, but you ain't there yet. You know how Roberta in here? Okay, Roberta in here. You know how fucked up that is? Like, seriously, it's almost like when you look at the Wiz and they start singing "You Can't Win."
You can't win, child.
This is exactly how it feels when you are in a position and you're making headways. I mean, for one, it's still at 98% Rotten Tomato score,
right,
for critic score. You know what I'm saying? 96% as audience score, which I am starting to have a little fear that people are going to review bomb it just because of certain aspects of the movie that they may not like, which is not fair. They shouldn't.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
They shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Because you're talking about the audience or the critics?
The audience score.
I don't know.
I do have that fear.
Yeah, I'm only seeing good things though. I'm not seeing anybody, which is I'm gonna give kudos, because I would think that it would be more, more negative. Well, I ain't gonna say more negative, but some loud negativity out in the atmosphere. I don't know have y'all seen any loud negativity out in the atmosphere?
I've seen a little bit, but I haven't seen enough for me. I've seen some, and that's because they're trying to compare this to Dusk Till Dawn, which is nowhere close to Dusk Till Dawn. This is one of my favorite vampire movies. You know what I mean? And it's nowhere close to Dusk Till Dawn. You know what I mean? Right. It doesn't have the feel. It doesn't have the flair. It doesn't have the overall message ain't what you think it is. That's why I love this movie. Why? I love Sinners so much because the message you think it's supposed to have, it doesn't have that message. It's not trying to beat you upside the head with a social with social commentary.
Right.
It's literally it's an algorithm of everything. It's like you get a little sprinkle everywhere to make this humble pie. You know what I mean? And it doesn't stick to just one aspect. Just because you're in the deep south in rural Mississippi, you know what I mean, on a plantation, does not mean you got to be 100% racist. And we call niggas 1,000 times in the movie or this. It doesn't give you that. You know what I mean? It gives you a whole other aspect. That's why I got to give Ryan his props. It doesn't give you what he could have easily went for that trope. Nope.
Right.
I'm gonna give you something else. I'm gonna give you something else that you own. So that's why I like it. But I wanted to pull the Variety article real quick before we really start getting into the spoilers, but just kind of get into what Variety actually was saying about this movie and why a lot of people had a problem with the way that Variety, talked about this movie. Sinners debuted at 63 million on the weekend. 63 million. That's when I tell you my theater, I don't know about you guys, but my theater was damn near packed. I went to I was so late, you know what I mean, getting up that I had to go to a late movie, but even that late movie, you know what I mean, the theater damn near closed. It was still packed. It was still damn near packed. Only seats that wasn't taken was the front two, and nobody said.
Me could have been 4 times. Was it packed all 4 times? Me? Nah. Was it moderate? Was it moderate or?
Yeah. It was like, I mean, it was a nice crowd in there, but I didn't go to any sold out movies. It was still seats available.
Like mine had, for my row, I had a seat next to me, but that whole row was only, how black people are. We're not sitting in the first 2 rows. We ain't looking up at no movie all night. So wasn't nobody in the first 2 rows. Right. You know what I mean? But the rest of the seats, like I said, I had the only open seat that was next to me. You know what I'm saying? The rest of the seats were filled except for the first 2. You know what I mean? But that's what, again, I got to give props to, where props is due. Let's see what they had to say about, because I don't care what they talking about with the Minecraft movie. And it's crazy. Minecraft movie is successful, but nobody came out and said, hey, y'all shouldn't be throwing popcorn because y'all seeing the chicken joust. You shouldn't be acting stupid, doing like, nobody ridiculed that. It's just kids being kids,
right?
Just kids being kids, tearing up the movie theater, but kids being kids. We got vacuum cleaners. It'll be all right. Terrible. Anyway, meanwhile, Sinners, a vampire thriller for Black Panther director Ryan Coogler and star Michael B. Jordan, opened to 15.6 million overseas with 71 markets. The film was far bigger in the U.S. and Canada, topping the box office with 48 million. In all, Sinners has amassed 63.5 million in its global debut. Monday's final numbers was above Sunday's estimated $45.6 million domestically and 61 million globally. It's a great result for an original R-rated horror film that takes place in the 1930s. Yet Warner Brothers release has an eye-opening $90 million price tag before global marketing expenses, so profitability remains a ways away. In terms of international markets, turnout was best in the United Kingdom at 3.2 million, followed by France with 2 million, Mexico with 1.1 million. IMAX, one of several premium large formats that were popular among initial ticket buyers, accounted for 2 million of international box office revenues. Jordan plays identical twins, Smoke and Stack, in Sinners, which follows the brothers as they return home to the South and open up a juke joint. Business is booming until vampires descending on the town. Reviews and audience scores for Sinners has been excellent as well. The film boasts a near perfect 98% of Rotten Tomato, which bodes well for the word of mouth. Thanks to the Minecraft movie of Sinners, Warner Bros. Secured the #1 and #2 spots internationally and domestic global box office. It's a promising reversal of fortunes for the studio after the consecutive commercial misfires. Robert De Niro's The Alternates and Bong Joon-ho and Robert Pattinson's Mickey 17. All right, what did you guys think about the article? Was it as bad as they think it is, or what?
I mean, to me, it was just the headline. I mean, nobody really reads the article, right? You know what I'm saying?
Sure
in
don't.
today's age. But the headline was poor. It was nasty. It was then I seen Jeff Snyder come out and say some stuff. Oh, y'all think that's racist? Like, dog, you saw the title, man. You saw that title. You know what I mean? What the hell?
Are you good?
I think so. I don't know. Somebody typed "Hey chat"
I did.
as me. Oh, that was you. Oh, okay. I was like, what the hell? I'm wild. But no,
I did. What's up, Sister Pam?
Pam. But no, it was just the title. Like, quit doing that. Like, I seen the homie come out and call him out. Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller came out and called him out. Like, why would y'all do that? You know what I'm saying? When us noticing it, yeah, but when somebody like Ben Stiller noticed this shit, it's crazy. Like, why would you do with an asterisk? It's the #1 film in you know what I'm saying right now, and you talking about with an asterisk. Dog, it's been 3 days. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What it was supposed to make 300 million in 3 days, $1 million a day. I mean, 100 million a day. What are we talking about here? That's crazy.
And nobody was talking about this movie was going to be like a $300 million, like $1 billion film. Like, I can understand if this was a Marvel film and your estimate, you know, Marvel films think they're going to make $1 billion just because it's Marvel now. You know what I mean? I can understand it's that. It's ain't even that. You know what I mean? It's an independent horror movie. Right. You know what I mean? And for that alone to be the #1 movie in the country right now is crazy. You know what I mean? Is particularly crazy right now. You know, so they said Aisha said Jeff said Sinners was Ryan Coogler's worst film. I'm done with all these critics. Yeah. And Aisha, look at it like this. You know what? I started looking at stuff now. I let these people have their opinion. I got an opinion too. You know what I mean? So he can say it's his worst film. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Does that change the light bulb in your house? Does it change the battery in your smoke detector? Nope. I wouldn't give a. I'm about to start cussing. In my cussing spirit is it Roberta? You in here? Because the cussing spirit about to come out.
Don't let it tempt you like that. Because I just saw a guy on Twitter mad because there was no Latino representation.
The Mexican homie. Yeah, I saw him.
I mean, the Native Americans in the can we please start teaching history? You know what I mean? Can we please start teaching history in America? Because the Native Americans in there and the Mexicans, I mean, if you add the conquistadors in there, yeah, your ancestors was in there if you was looking hard enough. But I mean, you know, what do I know?
I'm gonna tell you this. A lot of I knew some Native American homies from off the planet. They don't. Nah. I was like that. They not Mexican. They are totally different people. Don't say that to them, bro. Let you know.
I mean, but if you want to know they might not. The truth is, we know people came over from Spain and Portugal.
They did,
and they came and intertwined with those folks down there that was native to all that whole Louisiana Purchase.
Nah,
I get it, but I get it. I get it. But the only difference between them is let me shut up because they don't
speak that, man.
They don't speak it.
They don't speak that.
There's a lot of us that look this color.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I feel you. I'm just letting you know. I'm just letting you know. So when they say representation, they ain't looking at the Indians as representation. That was them. But I'm like, what did y'all expect in rural Mississippi in 1932?
And you know what's crazy is that my grandmother was born in Yazoo, Mississippi in 1925. And when she started talking about still living on a plantation, you know, when she was growing up, she had to work on the plantation as a little kid. And I seen that. I'm like, oh, that's what she meant.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, why are they still picking cotton? I'm like, never mind.
Sharecropping, man.
Sharecropping.
And
I
you know
said
they
never
did
mind.
that. You know, if you're from
Yeah.
rural Georgia, like my folks are from rural Georgia, you
Mhm.
know, up until about 1985, kids, that would be the summer job for a
Summer
lot of
job.
black
Yeah.
kids, going out and I don't know about the cotton because by that time
Pool
the cotton
weeds.
gin, but they were out there,
Cause my brother did that. My older
cucumbers
brother.
and butter beans and cucumbers, butter
Big-
beans, and tomato. I know that was the job that you can get because the truck
Mhm.
would come down First Street, and then it'd be like 4:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, and they went from 5 to 5. They
Mhm.
got a
Well, that's some
break.
child labor laws right there, boy.
They got a break at the 12 o'clock whistle to have lunch. They had an hour for lunch, and then once they met their quota on what they picked, you know, then they went and took their bushels in, and then they got paid. And we must remember, because people think that this history, this stopped a long time ago. I remember
No.
this clearly. I remember cousins who would go out in the field and
Yep.
they would pick. They would be picking fruits. I mean, more so vegetables and beans and legumes and stuff like that. Soybeans was a big one too. They would be out there picking, and the only difference I think that happened in regards to adults was the fact that a lot of folks realized where my folks were from was the fact that at that point they would make more off of welfare benefits than they were making picking
Yeah.
picking on this thing. So a lot of people stopped going out there and they started or going working at Hardee's was a better type job than that. So, but I just want people to understand that we think that this is just 1930s. People,
Yes.
as I remember, they really stopped coming out of the field working around it was like 84, 85-ish, somewhere in there.
I don't know where I'm from. It went into the 90s. My older brother would go out with
Right.
my uncle, and they would go do that. When we visited for the summer, would come, you know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? Come in for the summer, stay with my grandmother, and that's what they would
Yeah.
do.
They would bring
So,
my mother a whole bushel of butter beans, and we had to get those butter beans out and ready for her to blanch so she can put them in the freezer or put them in the jar before the end of by the end of the next day. So I remember those times, and you
yeah.
know, I'm still here.
Ain't too far removed, man.
They was over here doing child labor law. Wasn't nobody saying nothing. Wasn't nobody saying, you know what? These kids shouldn't be working in this field for $1.50.
Yeah. Well, you know, it was on it. It was on. You
It was
know,
work.
it was
It was
work.
work.
It was honest
It was
work.
work.
I mean,
It was
I don't
work.
think anybody out there was like 12 or 13, but I do remember 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18-year-olds out there. And usually if you were 14 and 15, you were out there with a parent.
Yep.
All right, let's get to sinners. This because Mika has seen it so many times. Mika probably recorded it on her phone.
Yeah. She done wrote the sequel and everything so many times. She done seen it.
The prequel.
It's a
The
prequel.
prequel.
The prequel.
She done wrote the prequel.
But
So
yeah, man.
I'm gonna have you. Mika. I'm gonna have you lead
What?
because because you've seen it the most times. I seen it Friday.
Nah, I want to hear what Mika got to say, man. I've been wanting to know because she was like, I'm not
You
going
went
to
to go-
do a review.
I posted
Y'all
my
are not
thoughts.
doing a video review.
I'm not doing
Nah,
a video.
You
I
probably
need
went to go see it today
I
before we
did.
got on.
I did.
I wanted to do that, but I was asleep. I fell
did.
asleep.
I'm
I
going to
did
see it
go see
again
it.
on Tuesday.
Yeah, because I had to be at the doctor's with my mom all day, so I'm going back to see it.
Mhm.
What do y'all want me to say? I don't know what you
Start.
want me to say.
Or
Let's start
someone
this
just
re-
jump into it.
Let's start.
Jump
Let's start
into
this review.
Okay,
from the
so I
beginning,
mean,
'cause
if y'all haven't seen
you
Sinners,
probably wrote notes.
I did not.
What impressed you, and then what turned you off?
That's a good one. Yeah.
I think what impressed me the most was the tie-in with the music, like throughout the whole movie, like especially in the beginning, like for one, I'm not a huge fan of jump scares, but in the beginning, those flashback jump scares, that first one
Yeah.
got me. I was like, oh, what? Oh, I don't know what I just signed up for.
Scary
What
tale.
I just like the fact that the music tied into everything as far as like the whole movie was concerned. Like what was the second part? I forget.
What turned you off?
What turned you off?
Oh, okay. So after seeing it 4 times,
Jesus.
there were and for me these are minor details. These are very minor details.
Nitpickish, yeah.
And if you're nitpicking it, like you would have picked it up too, but you wouldn't have picked it up the first time. And again, if you haven't seen this movie, I'm sorry for you, but I'm finna tell. So it was the part when Mary came back from being turned. I was like, okay, if she got bit right here, right? Wouldn't there be a trail of blood down the back of her dress? And she had her shawl, like I could see if they had put her shawl like up here to cover up that spot, but it was right here around her elbows. Yeah. And so like the second time I watched it, I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, you nitpicking. But I feel
like I don't see any blood there.
But I did say that too.
But the only reason why I said that is because Chow had the blood stain on the back of his shirt.
Sure.
When he turned around,
When he turned around, and I was like, if he had it on the back of his, she should have had it on the back of her dress. And then
they wiped hers off.
They was like, we gonna clean you up and you gonna send you back in.
I think it was more so, not to cut you off, man. I think it was with Chow. I think they did that on purpose. They wanted you to know he was turned, but her coming in, they didn't want the audience to know that she was, even though because we saw her get turned anyway, but it was still like, did she get out of there? That's how.
Yeah, but that's why I said if they would have like put her shawl up here, I wouldn't even thought twice about it. But like that was that one part that I was just like, damn.
Aisha said there's vampire lore with a saliva that's gross. Normally seals and heals up the wound.
Yeah, or the blood. Yeah, saliva.
Nothing but the blood.
But they didn't do that in this though.
That's what I'm saying. If that's the case,
they should have showed it.
When Stat got up,
he should have been healed. Yeah, because she dropped a whole gallon of her saliva.
Oh, Loogie, I was like, that's nasty.
Like, he was
like, look, the first time I saw it, I was like, yeah. And then every time I saw it after that, I turned my head away during that scene. I was like,
I was like, baby, you drooling. Bro. You want to taste it?
Oh,
like, yeah.
That thing was hanging right here too. I was like,
it's just coming down right on the side. I didn't like
how they did that though. Like that's like a telltale sign that you know what I'm saying. You drooling like because even who was it?
Boy,
was it?
Rimmer.
Was it Remick who was drooling first?
Yeah, Remick was drooling first because she ran up on him.
Yeah,
and he started drooling first. He's like, I'm gonna save you, and she was like, I don't need to be saved. He's like,
nah, I don't like that. I'm sorry. I'm like Cleveland. That's nasty. That's nasty.
No, I mean, like other than that, there wasn't really anything I didn't like about this movie. Like it was. I mean, it was damn near perfect.
Yeah.
Like
I'm gonna tell you,
it was damn near perfect.
I'm gonna tell you a part I didn't like.
Yeah, go ahead, Drake, because I'm gonna tell you mine.
Make sure she watch it. Yeah, I don't care how beautiful she
That's
is.
1930s. You got
I'll say, do you understand in the 1930s that she would have had to go out? She would. There was no wash. There's no wash rags around.
And then plus,
ain't no running water at the outhouse.
Exactly.
And wait a minute. And there was no Brazilians or nothing. Okay, so
she bushed up.
That's
exactly. He had to part the bush.
He was straight bushed.
He went bushwhacking in that thing. Yeah,
he was like, "You're so beautiful. I just want to
trailblazer.
Like, where your husband at? Her husband ain't doing that."
Overall, this movie was. It like I said, damn near perfect. Like I mean, like from beginning to end. And I mean, if y'all and for your people that didn't stay for the mid-credit scene, you missed a lot.
That's
Shame
your
on
fault.
you.
There's a whole lot of people that just left. I'm like,
you missed
what
so
y'all
much.
For?
It was the perfect close out to the movie.
What, a 5 to 7 minute scene?
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
It was the perfect close out. I
stayed all the way into the end. It was me and 2 other people. This until the
just
very
sitting there.
end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just sit there
first
looking
two
stupid.
times I didn't stay to the end. I didn't stay all the way to the end. The third time I did, and then I was like, "Oh, okay, we're good now. Like, we can go." Not monkey.
I will tell you again, like Mika, it was that scene had me in my feelings when the club scenes, because it was like, because I didn't realize what was going on until I saw like the guy that looks like he's from an African tribe, and I was like,
That was my favorite part of that whole
Igbo.
movie.
and he
That
was
whole sequence.
That
scene.
is
That whole
amazing.
sequence.
Amazing.
And I was just I don't know, I was feeling, I just, it was some kind of feeling that I still can't explain to you that feeling that I felt, because it was like a pride, but a sadness, but in a happiness, and it was just like, oh, okay, bridging gaps, musical.
Yeah.
It was so many different emotions that I had with that scene. I enjoyed it, but I also I was still on a high from the emotions of seeing Wumi and Michael B. Jordan, the big girls, being represented in a loving and such a way. I was already high from that. I thought, I was like,
I
oh,
was high.
one
Nobody
time
remembered
the
me,
picture,
huh?
yeah.
I'm sorry. What you're not gonna do is clown that scene. That scene was everything to me. Okay,
It was a good scene. That ain't no clowning scene.
everything to me.
grabbing that man's junk.
No, we didn't even
Everything.
talk about that. It's a simple fact that,
Yeah.
like, for me, that scene, it was like the power of a woman.
Yeah.
To the fact that he came back because he was like, "Hey, we want you to cook this fish." She was like,
Yeah, right.
"Try again."
You
You know that's not right. He came back.
Groove in that monkey.
And I love the deep I've seen all the the think pieces, particularly on Threads, because there was this thing about, oh well, it was struggle love and we shouldn't be. I'm like, these two people, you've never
What
seen
was
them
struggle love?
struggle.
No.
What is y'all?
see
Why
them
do people
struggle.
just be saying stuff?
So
And I'm
he
like,
he
you-
leaves for 7 years. He comes back, and she's
Right.
like, "You already know where home is.
Right.
Come on."
Where
And then
was the
no,
struggle love?
I don't, people have all these little think pieces, but I was like, these two, that's where a prequel just between Stack and Smoke would be so great to see, because I am quite sure that she was his level of because he's had to have been so strong for his kind of halfway kind of reckless brother and keep him safe or whatever.
Halfway.
And that she was, that she was a
All the
All the
level.
way reckless.
All the way.
Yeah, she was a bit of comfort that he didn't have to think about all of that. And
Yeah.
I think them losing a child, even if you lose a baby, I don't know if the baby was stillborn, I don't know exactly what had happened was, but just that grief of losing a child that you so anticipated, I don't see where that was struggle. I see maybe some pain and some trauma. They didn't seem like they were struggling, because honey, when she said your body remembers me, I ain't see
Yeah.
no struggle going
No
on.
struggle. I'm not getting. I'm not getting struggle from none of it. I didn't get struggle. I didn't get trauma. Only, you know what trauma I got? Smoke had PTSD.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the reason why Stack was rolling all the cigarettes. He had PTSD. He couldn't, but he was
Yeah,
a
he
crack
just
shot
came-
with that damn gun, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he said he just came from war.
Yeah, he was steady when it came to conflict. Conflict arise, he was
Calm.
laser focused, calm, could
Yeah.
handle it. Soon as the world became calm around him, though, the tremors start. And I don't know if y'all noticed that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That one
Yeah, he
was
got
so
nervous.
dope about the two, you know what I'm saying, him playing the two and the nuances of the two twins. It was dope like that.
Yeah, because I thought in the garlic scene, I thought he was about to take a couple of them out. I really did.
Listen, when she was like, "I don't know why we got to do this," I was like, "Kill, you can go ahead
Yeah.
and stab her
thought
right
he was gonna
now."
take him out.
Why we gotta do what was under Jamie Lawson? What was Jamie Lawson's character?
Perline.
Perline. Yeah,
You
Perline.
can go ahead and kill her right now. That's what I said in the movie theater.
Yeah. I
Why
thought-
So-
we gotta eat? I don't like garlic.
Now
And we
there
eat
was
that
there was
right.
the only other thing that I picked up on that made me feel some kind of way was when Mary came back, and when Mary came in and he was telling her he said, "Now do I need to get some of these field bitches to take you out?" And she was like, "No, because I didn't like that dialogue. That dialogue had me rolling back in my shoulders a little bit, just a little
Like, I
bit.
beat
'cause
all
I'm-
these bitches in here. Wait,
Yeah, I can be.
Hold
I'm
on
like,
now.
female bitches, stat. Your brother saved your life, bitch. But I digress. That bothered
He
me.
didn't like her though.
Yeah. No,
no.
he liked her.
He liked her. He loves her.
Yeah,
No,
he
oh
had-
no, I thought you talking about when Smoke was talking to her.
Oh no, Smoke didn't like
Smoke
care
didn't
for
like
that.
Mary. Yeah, Smoke.
I
didn't
thought that
like
was-
Mary.
Because I
No.
thought that was Smoke
No, that was
came
Stack
and said
was talking.
the field
Stack
bitch
said that.
situation.
No, that was
That
Stack.
was Stack.
Stack was dragging her out because Sammy
Yeah,
went and
Stack
got
was
him.
talking
He
shit.
was like, "Hey man, that girl." He's like, "That girl back," and he was like,
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
Smoke
yeah,
dragged him over there and was like, "You better
Yeah,
handle
you need
her."
to go handle it.
or
Yeah,
I
that's right.
handle her.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I got this. I got this." He was like, "You need to get up out of here." And she was
Yeah.
like, "So you're not gonna say it?" But I love that fact. I mean, that little part of the movie where they both had their little, man, I love you. And I
Mhm.
miss like they both had that I love you and I miss you moment. And
Right.
you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But in Stack's case, he was like, I had to stay away from you in order to protect you. And I
Protect you.
knew that
Yeah.
you and me could never be together. And
'Cause
she
you were
and
out
when
the room.
right. And so when she finally realized
I
it,
love that term for some reason.
that little one tear rolled down her cheek. I was like, you understand now. Now go home to your
Mhm.
husband.
That's right. Going to
I
heaven.
did. Okay, to get back.
I
to
got
the
one
part
more.
with
I got
music.
one more thing that endeared me to the
Pam
whole
got notes.
movie. I don't have notes. It's because again, my grandmother was born in 1913, so all these things that I can see that it was very prevalent for me. But when the guy came in, y'all,
Mhm.
and he paid with that wooden nickel.
The wooden
With
nickel.
the nickel,
Mhm.
yeah.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh, my heart
Yeah.
just went because my grandmother collected a lot of coins and she had some of those things because people
Yep.
don't realize back in the
Mhm.
day, you know, when you
Mhm.
always talk about that ain't worth nothing, that's a wooden nickel.
Wooden
Wooden
nickel.
Because they were sharecroppers working on these lands and the people wouldn't pay them with the money that's the legal tender. They still will be paying them with some of that Confederate money, or
Yep.
they take up their own little monies and stuff like that to pay them. And if if you're talking about people who came out of slavery, most people didn't know the difference. They didn't leave or go nowhere.
They
And I
go
just
nowhere.
thought that just endeared me. And I was like, daggum. People
Mhm.
just treated you any kind of way and gave you any type of
What he
thing.
called it? He called it plantation money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they called it
plantation
plantation,
money.
but yeah,
Yep.
I remember my grandmother calling those things wooden nickels, and she had a
Mhm.
couple of them. Right. And when I saw that, I was like, Ryan Coogler, me and you I want to know what's going on in your brain for you to you must have talked to your uncle.
It was his.
Does
He
that
had
little
a
That little piece of information was something that I thought was lost into the ether, but when I saw
Oh,
that, I was
no.
like, yes. For those of us that are here and we can
That are old
remember.
enough.
So yeah, because when you hear your grandmothers or if your great grandmothers are still
They
alive,
ain't
and they
worth a
start talking
wooden
about,
nickel.
yeah, ain't worth a wooden nickel. That was partly what they were talking about.
My grandma
Yep.
used to say that. Dane C, thank you so very much for the $2 super chat. Got me looking forward to Ryan Coogler's rebooting X-Files. Yeah, he did an excellent job on this movie. Let me make sure to hook you up real quick.
Gang banging, gang banging, gang banging.
Thank you
That's
so
what
very
Remick
much.
was singing during the river dance scene.
Hey, that was I ain't gonna lie, I was popping. I was popping
Me
in
too.
that dog. That boy was hard.
Okay.
I was my feet got to tap it.
I
but
got to move it. I was like, oh snap! You had.
But let me go back to the
sea walking and stuff. I was like, okay.
let me go back to the scene to the music the
Did
music
you take
scene.
notes?
No,
Yeah, you did.
I didn't take notes.
You looking
I
for-
was
you
too
looking-
busy.
you see
I
you
wouldn't
looking
have been
off
able to
the
say.
I'm just saying, let's get back to the scene where
Let's get back to that scene because Sammy was
Mhm.
Miles Caton, which this is his first movie role, and this dude did an amazing job.
Yeah.
I'm talking about amazing job being a
And that
POV
voice?
character for us.
That voice
Yeah.
though, is what got me.
And he
sound
could
like
sing. He did say he was a backup singer for her, so
Mhm.
it made sense because her got that kind of voice. I could see
Yeah.
that, his level, his everything.
And
when he
hers from
started
the Bay, so Ryan knew who she was.
Yeah.
Exactly. So in that scene, I don't know if you noticed, but when they start merging all the music together,
Yeah.
I felt something because I've always was told this. When you're doing music and it comes from the heart, you do feel all your answers. You feel a spirit in the air when it comes from, whether you're doing gospel, whether you're doing it for the folks that don't do secular music. You know what I mean? You start feeling spirit. No, real talk. You start feeling the spirit in the air, and it was crazy because when he was singing he was singing blues, and I was like, blues encompass rock and roll. You know what I mean? It encompasses rap music or rhythm and blues is R&B. That's all R&B is. It encompasses all art genres of music and the folklore from Africa. You know what I'm saying? The music that comes from Africa when you're conjuring spirits or whether for celebration or whatever. And then you start seeing people crip walking, people, you know what I mean? I'm talking about all these different levels, like people twerking, and then they got the twerker and the African girl doing the same dance.
Same thing, yeah.
And I'm like, this is the lineage of us. And then the when the roof got on fire, and that's why I tweeted on X, I was like, that's when we used to say the roof is on fire. We don't need no water. Let that mother burn. This whole thing was, I was like, that's what I'm talking. Brian, you got me back. You got me back on this one. You made me excited. I loved every portion of that. That's why I just want to go back and see that part. I can go get some popcorn when
just for that part.
I
mean, before that part, I could leave and come back.
Well, it's because, you know, me and you especially know that me and you doing music. When you really into your music and you, like, say for instance, you got something that you really singing or rapping, you feel that. You don't feel yourself. You feel something else. When you really in your bag.
The way I took that scene was, you know, because I believe in vibrations. You know what I'm saying? The music.
Right. Oh, yeah, most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? And music is like one of the highest forms of communication. You know what I'm saying? Real simple, real to the point. I saw it, you know what I'm saying? It brought the veil down. Like, you know what I'm saying? And with this being a supernatural movie, bringing the veil down. And that's why you saw Remick standing like, man, I got to get a piece of that. Like, he even saw it. You know what I'm saying? Because the veil was gone. Like, time and space had folded within itself. That's how much the music was vibrating and doing what it was supposed to do. All the different, not just his ancestors, it was Asian people, it was the Indians showing up, it was, you know what I'm saying, like everybody who was somebody throughout time, space, and history was in that scene having a good time. You know what I'm saying? Making sure the roof caught on fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, that scene that's a powerful scene, man. I don't know what Ryan even thought about that. I don't know what he smoked to get, or what mushroom, or what's the stuff they tell you to get on? You know what it remind me of? Remember Idlewild?
Yeah. That scene with Janelle Monáe. I think she was in a saloon or something like that, and they're having that scene at Idlewild. It remind me of that, but way deeper. Because you start with you start with the blues song, and then you start seeing our ancestors from Africa. Yeah. And then you start seeing the progression, because all of this is our blues. You know what I mean? Like, music, sometimes it's our blues. Is the only, just think about it like this. You know, back in slavery, all we had was song. When we're out in the you know, and if you notice, when they was out there picking cotton, what was they doing? They was singing. When they went to go get cornbread, you know, they was out there singing. You know what I mean? When they was rolling through the cotton fields, you heard the singing, and then he started.
The Chain Gang was out there singing.
The Chain Gang. You know what I mean? It's all of that. So I think that's what really got me, is that when you got that type of music and you're bringing that type of vibration, like you say, that type of vibration, that type of energy out, it took me to a different place. It actually calmed me down, because I'm like, this ain't really about vampires. Is just the cherry on top. This is about us, like a culture phase that we're in, and how I say it reminded me of how we let the devil in. You know what I mean? That's when exactly you're in certain places, the energy is allowing the devil to come in and trying to take over what you're trying to build. That's what I got. It wasn't even about slavery or racism, whatever. That's what I got off of. It was that the movie got so many layers. You can go that way. Yeah. I took it as cultural appropriation, with Remick trying to come in and steal your culture. Basically, is what he was doing. Like, you can be free. Just come with me.
was dope about Remick was he was genuine.
Yeah, he wasn't a racist.
He wasn't. He
Yeah.
was like I'm doing this out of love because I know they treating y'all bad. You come kick it with me. We can really take over, and you can be as free as you want to be. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. The dope thing about this movie was nobody died, and this is what I mean by in most vampire movies, vampires just kill people, don't turn them, they just kill them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
Remick didn't kill nobody.
He was trying to make a community.
Nobody died with Remick. You know what I'm saying? And you didn't even get to see the turning was always off scene. I thought that was dope as well, because now that goes back to what you're saying, Dre. The vampire aspect is just a part of this movie. This movie was about the blues. It was about the historical storytelling of 1930s rural Mississippi and what they had to go through during that time period. Vampires just a cherry on top.
You know what? I would just give you a little small pushback, because I thought that Remick with his because I love you and we could be together and we could do all of that. To me, that was the most insidious part. And the reason why I say that, why that was a scary part to me, is because I see that so much within my family of how people would come in and they'd love you and love all the stuff, and then we'll say stuff like, "Ooh, well, here's this person, they can dance and play the banjo. They invited to the cookout," and then they come to the cookout. Or they come to the juke joint because they're attracted to stuff that you're doing. They want that stuff for themselves, and they want it, and they want it so, and they'll kill you with the kindness of it all, and they'll give you this big old speech why it's so important for you to share it, and then they'll take what you have, and then they'll go and do whatever it is they want to do with it. And it reminded me clearly of like the death of R&B. And how everybody was trying to be, come over to pop. You could be pop. We could do this. And by the time you do that now, when people ask, like, where are the R&B singers? The R&B singers are there. It's just that they have white faces. They don't want the black faces of R&B. You can't come out and see a Stephanie Mills or anything like that because of the fact that everybody is into Yebby.
Right. But that's what made the film have so many layers. Look at what you just took from that. Somebody else can say yes and then go their way too. That's what was so dope. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, culture appropriation, I took the culture appropriation part. I took the Remick being the
false prophet.
False prophet, or just the morality. What I'm trying to say, his morale was sympathetically morale. What just the gray villain, like, you know what I'm saying? There was. It's not a black. Is he bad? Is he good? It was even when he was at the end and he was talking to Sammy, and Sammy was saying the Lord's Prayer, and then he started reciting it with him. He was like, when the people came and killed my father and took our land, they recited this to me too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the Irish went through the same. Irish went through a lot of the same stuff we went through.
So I was like, he thought Coogler and whoever helped write this, they threw so much into this film that you can just
a lot of nuances
pick from and just enjoy and eat. I did recorded something with Rashad last night, and he talked about how there was no fat in this film. Everything was lean. It was just, you know what I'm saying, you go watch this movie and you'll leave full, you know what I'm saying, but ain't no fat on it, you know what I'm saying, it's just pure sirloin steak, you know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, that's true.
So let me do this.
I want to address that comment that I don't think Remick wanted Annie. He didn't want Annie. Stack.
He wanted to see if she was okay.
Shut up.
Stack wanted Annie and his brother because he wanted them to be a family.
He wanted them to be a family. He wanted them to be together. Remick didn't know anything about Annie's gifts. Stack wanted Annie, and he wanted Annie because not just because of her gifts. He wanted her because he wanted.
Hold on, you talking about Smoke? You talking about Smoke wanted Annie? Because Annie's
no, Stack wanted Annie. Because he wanted Smoke and Annie.
You're right. Stack wanted to turn Annie so it'll make it easier for him to turn his brother.
Right. To turn his brother. Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why. That's the reason why Stack and Mary reacted the way that they did, because they were like, "Wait a minute, like that wasn't part of the plan." like the plan was to turn Annie, and then that would get Smoke to want to come with us too. What up, Pete?
What up, Pete?
But yeah, that
He wasn't privy to that conversation that Annie had with Smoke about, if anything happened,
right.
you got to,
right. And what I'll say about Remick is he wanted what he wanted was to be able to talk to his
people. Yep.
He wanted to talk to his ancestors. That's why he wanted Sammy so badly.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted Sammy to be so that he could sing like that, and so that he could talk to his people. Because, like, in the beginning of the movie or in the middle of the movie, they were saying that the power of music has the power to go to the past, into the future. Right. So he had to do whatever he needed to do, and he was basically, to me, Remick was a used car salesman. He got in and was like, hey, vampire life. You wanted enough.
Vampire life.
Vamp
life.
Right. Let me show you how good it is over here. I know that, you know what? By the way, I just want to let you know the clan finna come kill y'all tomorrow.
Right.
You still want to be a part of that vampire life?
Vamp life.
Look,
because that's what I was saying about that underlying need.
I mean, Smoke almost went. They both almost went. They both almost believed it until Annie was like, nah. Now what you're not gonna do is do this right now. But my favorite was Delta Slim.
Delta Slim.
Oh, we gonna get it. Hold on, wait a minute. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say the cast member's name. I'm gonna say the cast member's name, and y'all tell me what you thought about the performance. We gonna start because we gonna start with Michael B. Jordan and Smoke is Stack. What y'all think about the performances of Michael B. Jordan and Smoke?
Tell us who you starting with.
That's what I'm sorry. I'm going down the list.
Out of us?
Is whoever could go.
Oscar worthy. I ain't gonna Oscar worthy. I mean, there's he embodied both of those roles. You couldn't tell me that there's not two Michael B. Jordans on this earth right now.
Somebody gonna be doing Freaky Fridays with him. They're like, I know it's another Michael B. Jordan out there. Michael C. Jordan.
Michael C. Jordan. I'm with Mika. It was Oscar worthy.
He's Michael A. Jordan.
Michael A. Michael A. It's the third one out there, Michael C. But no, it's Oscar worthy, just like this film is. Like I said, the nuance of being able to do that, that's a hard thing to do. You know what I'm saying? To play this person, play that person, but be different, but the same. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard thing to do. You've seen it done, but the way that he did it, like I said, Smoke having the tremors and Stack being the knucklehead or whatever, like, nah, it was, and Smoke or Stack really wanted the Smoke Stack twins name to still ring bells. You know what I'm saying? Like he wanted to make sure that, hey, we back in town. We finna, you know what I'm saying? Don't F with us. We back. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
because Smoke didn't want to open the juke joint that night. He was like, nah, let's do it another night because we ain't got enough time to do it. And Stack was like, nah, bro, we gotta do this. And
I will tell you this. This was one of the roles of Michael B. Jordan where I did not see Michael B. Jordan. Because usually every other role that I see, there's always just a little part of him in there. I did enjoy that because, again, I was able to differentiate between Smoke and Stack. And I think that was great. His scene partners in Haley and Woomy, I think he was able to really bounce off of that. I was very impressed. I honestly, like I said, the only issue that I had with Michael B. Jordan was the accent, but that's because I'm country and I can hear the thing and I know that he's from Newark, New Jersey. But I really didn't have a problem with anybody in their accents. They actually could have just spoke like they spoke and I wouldn't have paid any attention to it. But I did. I think it is an Oscar-worthy. I think they should present that for an Oscar now, because I think now, does the Oscars still not want to add horror to their listing, or any actor can get a nom? But I think that he should. I really do think he should get one, because I do think that he played those two people. Again, I didn't see Michael B. Jordan. I saw Smoke and I saw Stack, and I was very, very impressed with his acting on that.
The Oscars have lightened up a little bit when it comes to horror because of like Get Out. So like as long as the movie has buzz, like when Get Out first came out, same thing, right?
Yeah.
We flocked to the theaters to see Get Out. It had a lot of buzz. This
Right.
movie has a lot of buzz, and if it don't get nominated for an Oscar, it's gonna be hell to pay.
I think so. Yeah.
All the way
I
through.
think it'd be nominated. The
I
bad
think
thing
it's-
about the
I think it
Oscars,
is.
I just read something today. They said they're now making all Oscar voting members to watch the movies. I'm like, what? Y'all ain't been watching
They
it?
ain't been
doing
watching
that?
the movies. No, they never watched the movies.
And that seems kind of suspect to me. You watched the darn movie.
You
So-
vote for that's crazy.
So for me, with Smokey Stack, I don't know if y'all noticed, but Smoke was about the smoke, and
Mhm.
Stack was about his paper. They named them right. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Because if you ever when Smoke came in, when Smoke was in the was talking to old girl, Grace, and he told that young lady to sit in the truck so nobody don't touch it.
Yeah.
And dude was out there trying to rob his truck, and he came out there, shot dude in the ass, just shot the dude in the leg. Was
Mhm.
like, you know what's for somebody with the real smoke? That's how they act. They don't play. They don't play. And Stack was the charismatic one. The one, look, I'm just trying to get this paper, and if you notice, that carries over to now. The one that the promoter, the one that's real charismatic, the one that's, hey, you know, he laughing. Oh, you call, come on over here so we can go ahead and get this money. He's the embodiment of what you see today. And like I said, Smoke is the embodiment of what a dude who don't play about his woman, a dude who did not play about his money, who don't play about his family. Oh, yeah, you want to play? I got something for you. You know what I mean? And then to see him, you know, when his brother initially died before he got turned, and he was just holding him.
Yeah.
I almost forgot. I'm like, I know that's a stunt double with Michael B. Jordan's face on it. You know what I mean? Because it's CGI or I'm like,
Whatever
damn,
they
that's
did,
good.
yeah, that's
Because you
good, yeah.
forgot. I'm like, that's two Michael B. Jordan. I'm thinking in my mind, that's two Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
But it's not. But it's amazing. Good stuff. I think Michael B. Jordan.
That broke my heart. That broke my
Yeah.
heart because I was like, and his brother was everything to him. It broke my heart.
Yeah, I loved every minute of it. All right, Haley Steinfeld is Mary.
Killed it. She got to be nominated too.
Everybody can be nominated.
I think everybody can be nominated.
Real talk, like they need like the Oscars is going to be hard if they nominate every single person from Sinners. Like Michael B. Jordan, definitely best actor, right? But like supporting actors, it's gonna be stacked.
It's gonna be, and from this movie, it's gonna be stacked
from this movie alone. It's gonna be stacked.
Because Mary even, I go. Oh, go ahead.
What really? Because I didn't see it coming. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see her going that way, and the way that they played off of her actual quarter, 1/8 octoroon. You know what I'm saying? This
I've
in
never
real
heard
life
that until yesterday.
You never heard
Quadroon? It's maroon. Octoroon. No, it's quadroon.
Octoroon.
There's another one. There was another one in between before you get to octoroon.
It started with an M.
There's mulatto. That's half.
Mulatto.
Yeah.
And there is.
I thought that was racist. Now we couldn't say that.
This is what This is
This is
the
what
terms
this is what it is.
Yeah.
And she was passing. She was passing because remember, passing is an action, not just because you light skinned.
Yeah.
Right. And what was crazy is with her, how she acted. I was like, she must really got a black side of her family, because with the way she was talking.
But I said that a long time ago, and Tina sat up here, looked me dead directly in the camera, and was like, "That is a white woman." I said, "No, she's not. She got a black granddaddy." I said her dad, granddaddy, black and Filipino. I guarantee if Filipinos are really black, for real, if you really want to know.
Yeah, they say they are. But either way, like the way she started talking was like,
oh yeah,
she been hanging in. She hanging in the hood before she came? You know what I'm saying? Because the diction, the vernacular, and the way that she was using the sound, like it came from the stomach, like she believed everything that she said. Like I was ready for her to pick the stick up and go out to the block, and you know what I'm saying? Like that's how hard she was in selling that version of her. You know what I'm saying? And I think,
When-
like I
when
said,
she-
she killed it.
When she told Stack, you could go out there and rob them trains and steal that stuff, but you can't steal this.
But you can't steal this pussy. Yeah.
I was like, no,
said, that
no,
ain't no- that ain't the girl from
Vampire
Bumblebee.
Mary. Vampire Mary.
That ain't the girl from Bumblebee.
Vampire Mary.
When she
Damn.
said it, I was like,
Look at Tina that showed and he is no, he is not. You're not finna talk about my quarterback. He is not.
hey, they talked about my quarterback and his
He
might
is
be
not.
a magnitude. They trying to don't you do that.
Quarterback
I'ma
when it's
defend-
all Black
I'ma
Barber for
defend-
once.
I'm gonna defend our quarterbacks. Don't you do that. I'm defend both our quarterbacks. Don't you do that. Because I like Josh Allen. Don't you do that. not wait till he get home. Like we gonna get a whooping.
Wait till I get home.
I thought with Mary,
Cartoon.
it was I think about how racism was so prevalent that she couldn't love the guy that she loved because of the way that she looked, and he couldn't love the woman
Love
that
her.
he loved because of the way that he looked, and that thing would have been deadly for them. Now I am
Yes.
I do appreciate Haley and how she played that role, and it made me dislike her, and that was good.
That's good. Yeah.
Mhm.
That was good because it made me dislike her. And the only reason why I disliked her because she was so busy trying to show Stack that she was important to him and that she could find out information. She carried a little tail out that door and got her ass
ain't
bit.
got her ass bit. Yeah, the same thing I said. You want to be down so bad.
You want to
be
show
down
you
so
wanna
Another
show
message.
him-
Another
Yeah.
message. You want to be down so damn
Okay.
bad.
You done messed around and got your tail bit. You-
Now what you get? That's not like
Yeah,
grandpa.
fuck around and fuck around and find out.
Find
Yeah,
it,
fuck
yeah.
around and find
You,
out.
as one of the content creators on here, he said, "You done fucked up the thing. You done messed around and everybody did." But I will tell you,
Sorry,
the
Roberto.
the thing that really made me when I looked at Haley and I was like, the way she looked at Stack when she saw him at that the train station when she was at the station and the way she looked and the way she talked and then again, kudos to Michael B. Jordan, how he felt that uncomfortability. It's like, damn, we out in
Yeah.
public and here she
Is he
comes.
loud?
Yeah.
Yes.
Loud.
Right.
And but I enjoyed, you could see and feel the chemistry. One thing I saw, and we'll talk about that when you talk about, but how you could
Aretha.
feel he was so good that the chemistry was so different between each different woman that he was in.
Yeah.
Chemistry
Yeah.
and him and Mary had that particular chemistry. Wow, I think she did a good job. Like Mika said, it's gonna be Stack. I think that she should get an argument because when she stood up there and said, "We gonna kill you all,"
We're gonna kill all y'all.
Ain't gonna lie,
Oh,
dude.
y'all.
Hey, like, ain't gonna lie. I busted out laughing when she took out running though.
Yeah,
She's
she
like, we
got
gonna kill all y'all. Dude, like,
when she said that, I mean, it was real
One
ominous.
in the chamber.
Yeah.
I
All
all
right.
right. Clip on her.
all right, Miles Canton as Sammy Preacher Boy Moore,
Oscar.
and then
Go ahead and give him the Oscar now.
and then the great Buddy Guy
Buddy Guy.
as
yeah.
as the older Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
What?
thought
Buddy,
y'all
Buddy
gotta
Guy
get-
can get an
Buddy
Oscar too.
Guy
Everybody can get an Oscar.
Buddy
I
Guy
can
can
say, but
get
a
an
guy
Oscar.
can get like a
Blues
music
legend. Yeah, blues legend. Chicago blues
Yeah.
legend. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I thought that Miles, I will tell you this, and this is the thing, and I guess maybe because it brought out the youth in me. I just enjoyed how he looked up to the character, how he looked up to his older cousins. I
Mhm.
do like how he, for him to be a new actor, I thought he had been acting for a while. I ain't gonna hold you. I didn't realize he was a new actor because
I didn't
And
know
her,
either.
but he her made sure he got the audition for this movie too.
Mhm.
yeah, and kudos to her for that because him, he gave you that youthful enthusiasm plus the fact that and take notes, young man.
Grown-ass man.
He was a
Voice.
grown ass man at 19. At 19,
Grown ass man
Mhm.
he was
voice.
a grown. Man, at
He started
19.
singing. I'm like, when he started talking, I'm like,
Damn, like what the
what
Yeah.
is he supposed to have that?
Yeah,
that
when he
voice?
first
Can
started
I
talking,
get
I was
that
like,
voice?
That voice. I wrote in
Yeah,
the
I
chat
was.
that his
grown
voice
man
reminded
is in
me
his
of Aloe
body.
Black. Cause
Yeah,
he was he was his voice was grown. His
Mhm.
ability, he would get up and go to work and get his quota done so that he can go do what he wanted to be able to do. That's grown man think. I know I want to get over here and play, but I got to get this job done. Let me go and get this work done. The way he interacted with his father, even though he knew his father was, and this is why I want a prequel, because that daddy knows something about his Stack and Smoke's father
I think
that I
they were
would love
twins.
to them to
That was his brother.
explore.
That was his brother,
Yeah.
right?
It was-
I think
Yes,
they were
and I'd
twins.
love for them to explore. But even how he was interacting with his father, I mean, he knew he wanted to do something, but he was still respectful of his father and his father's house. I mean, he at 19, he was grown. He was grown. He had the qualities of being a grown man, and he played all of that with a youthfulness that I just
Yeah,
enjoyed.
he did.
Lawrence,
He
he
did.
gotta light his voice up. He can't be
Yeah,
that
he
deep.
can't be
playing
sounding
Miles
like that
Morales.
for Miles Morales.
Hey,
Hey.
Absolutely, he
Spider-Man.
can.
I'm Spider
I'm
He
Man.
can
Spider-Man.
sound like that all
He
day.
can sound whatever. He can do whatever he
Because
wants.
Per Line said he was fine. Because when he told Per Line, girl, I need to go on and get me a
Hey.
taste. I was like, that's a
All
grown man at 19.
Hey Dre, all them husbands in this movie, trash.
Married
Trash.
husband.
Trash.
How
Yeah,
you let your wife go to
exactly.
the juke joint, bro? Yeah, that's where she was
Exactly.
going. Hey, where you going?
All right,
All the husbands.
And she
trash.
walked. And so she walked at least
Did.
2 or 3
She-
miles.
She
just to get
walked.
to the juke joint.
She's like, I walked there. He's like,
And then
not my
he was
problem.
he tasted all of that. Oh.
Hey,
Anyway, all right, Jack O'Connell as Remy.
Oscar. Give
Him
it.
the Oscar.
Everybody
Hey,
Can we
was
just
him.
give out?
He
Can we
was-
just give out a tie for
Hey,
Oscar?
Yeah.
Look, I'm gonna give him. Hey, look, when I tell you that I wasn't expecting that performance,
Oh,
Jack
they got-
O'Connell killed it because I was expected. Okay, you think about it. You go in as a black person. We talking about rural South,
Mhm.
1930s, white man. I'm thinking he's gonna be the biggest racist that I was totally shocked.
That's what I
But it
thought
was totally
yeah.
different. Was
Yep.
totally different. And then he killed them. I mean, he didn't kill, he turned the racists and have them out there playing the banjo and all of that, singing songs.
And they got bit up by the Lumineer vampires.
Hey, he killed it. I love it. And then when he starts actually speaking Irish,
Yeah.
speaking in his Irish and his
his-
native accent and
Mhm.
in the river dance and the dancing.
He's
I'm
actually
like-
he's a real river dancer.
Is
Yeah, he talked
Yeah.
about it.
He was-
Yeah,
he was killing it.
He's a real river dancer.
Yeah,
So that
he said
scene,
his daddy
he was
had him
like-
in there at like 9 years old. He was like, he said, I just held this in the clip until it was time. It did show them what I got.
his
I'm like,
name was like
damn.
Jumping Jack or
He could've
something like
been
Jumping
that.
Jack. Yeah, I seen that interview. I mean, my man, I'm talking about, I start river dancing in my seat. You know what I'm saying? Put my arms up like river dancing though. You know what I mean?
River dancing
was
ain't nothing but
dope.
sea walking. It's the white version.
I walk it. I said
I
Irish
walk
river
it.
dancing.
Yeah.
River
I
walk.
think that he was good. I shared a thing in the thing, Dre, about that I found off of Spotify that they had put down there like some backstory about Remy. And they've got backstories on a lot on Stack and Smoke too over there on Spotify. But I thought again I thought he was just, you know how you used to watch vampire movies and they kill just to kill.
Yep.
That was my thing. His ability to show that empathy and because it almost felt like he was reading minds, or maybe he was reading emotions by the way the blood was flowing in your veins or something. I don't know exactly what was really going on with him, but I will tell you, I was very impressed by his acting. Because like I said, he made me feel some kind of way about him. When you make me feel like I can't stand you,
True.
you make me feel that, if I feel like your character pisses me off and pisses me off to the point that that in a movie like that, and I can separate that from the character. I think that you've done a good thing. It warms my heart when actors can make you not see
Emotion.
him. Yeah, so I don't see why he shouldn't receive a good supporting actor role in there too. I really do think that he should,
Pam,
along with Delroy Lindo.
this is on Spotify.
Yeah,
So,
you have to
yeah.
go to the center's page and click on the, I forgot what it's called, but
Yeah,
then
down
it
there.
shows
Is it like
backstory.
stories, backstories on the?
yeah,
the...
all three. There's three
Oh,
of
okay,
them.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
it's
have to go
three
check
of
this
them. Yeah, it's a backstory on Remy. It's a backstory, two
out. 'Cause I
backstories
wanted
on.
backstories on Remick.
It
yeah.
tells you how they got the liquor, and it tells you how they got the money.
Right.
I want to see that.
Yeah,
I
would
want to
love
see it. I
Him
would love to
robbing
see.
Capone?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. All right. Anything else on Jumpin' Jack?
Give him the.
All
Nah, he was great. He was great in his role. And shout out to his two co-stars that were behind him, backing him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Wunmi Masaku as Annie. I think I butchered that.
Oscar?
Yeah.
Watch
She
out
was
for the
dope.
big girl.
She's always
She always
she's been
Watch
been
out
dope
for the
since
big
when I
girl.
first seen her on Lovecraft
Hey.
Country. She was
Yeah.
dope.
Yes. Watch out for the big girls. And people think that these things don't matter. I think that representation matters. It's matters because people will get out here. If you get into that echo chamber of social media, they'll make you think that men don't like big girls, men don't like skinny girls, men don't like. They'll make you think all of that, and just see just the visual of it. I was just squirming in my seat. Mika, you should have seen me. I was just squirming like, come on now, look at you.
Hey.
You know,
I applauded her. I was like,
yes.
You know what I love about this? The way that they shot the women, right?
Yeah.
They made the women. I mean, they was already gorgeous, but they like put a glow and aura, like you know what I'm saying? The shine. I like shiny
The
black.
shiny. Ooh,
Like,
my goodness.
When you oily, glistening like that, that's just
Glistening.
looking opal. You know what I'm saying? Just yeah, man. I like the way he shot the women. He did a good ass job.
He
she
understands.
had a presence about her through in
Right.
every scene she was in. She had a presence about her. Like, whoa, now, hold up. Don't let him in.
Yeah.
Why you can't let your big ass up in here,
He
sir?
was like, I don't want to be rude.
And then he went to go talk to Smoke again. She was like, no.
You talk to me.
Talk to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was that presence that she had when, because she knew her stuff. You know what I'm saying? She was like, wait a minute now. Something ain't clean. You know what I'm saying?
And they didn't devilize hoodism. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I really like, because they try to, especially, I hate to say it, in modern day Christianity, everything is of the devil. You know what I mean?
Right.
And they didn't do that in this movie, because it is part of our lineage. It's a part of our history.
Right.
Coming
Everything
from
got
Africa.
an equal standing. Yeah.
Yes.
Even how you felt about Christianity, everything got an equal standing. Everybody was it was respected. And I think, like you said, because I saw a girl on here talking about, oh my God, I mean, I went to go see Sinners and then I had to walk out because of my spirits. Now, I'm not telling you not to watch it. Yes, you are. You're telling people not to watch.
No,
She had to walk out because of her spirits. What?
Oh my gosh, I didn't realize how you and one girl ate her up. She was like, the movie said sinners. You're a Christian.
Right.
You know about sin and sinners. If you felt some kind of way about a sinner, why would the word sinner would have made you go and look up what the movie was about?
Right.
But see,
Go
you
watch
let
the
your
trailer.
you let your sin of lust of Michael B. Jordan send you up in that doggone movie.
Mhm.
A whole
That
word.
was.
Yeah,
You was grabbing on this stuff. It was nasty.
I loved how her presence and her knowledge, with everything. You know what I'm saying? She was the main one to pick up as soon as, because she was like, what did she say? And when Preacher Boy was like, she said we gonna kill you all. She was like, we?
Yeah, we.
Who's we?
Right out there. Yep.
And then that's when she was like, we need to get him up out of here.
Yep.
Exactly.
Cause he finna get up.
Yeah, because I liked how she was explaining, like she was talking about hates. Always hates. And what's dope is
Yeah.
I keep pushing this video game. Y'all go, if y'all gamers, South of Midnight. Hates is in that video game. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of the same premises as Sinners is, with a lot of the folklore and everything like that. But then she was like, wait a minute,
These ain't no hate.
they not hates.
Mm-mm.
These is vampires.
These vampires.
And then she
And
started
she knew
going
what
through all-
vampires
yeah.
was.
Well, no, well, she was like, I only heard of it. You know, she was like, I'm not real familiar with it, and I only heard of it, but we finna go through the eat this garlic, make these steaks. I thought that was so. I had did a thing on Sinners and Vampires when they released the scene of Cornbread, you know what I'm saying, not being able to come into the juke joint. So I did a video about how how vampire lore has changed over the years and what's to come, and you know what I'm saying, steak, garlic, sunlight, things, you know what I'm saying, but they've gotten away from that. I like how Sinners brought all that back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
They kind of
vampires
did
have
get
got
away
way
from
too
that.
complicated now. They sparkle in the light, you know what I'm saying? They do all types of stuff. Like I'm
Walk
just
in the sun.
walk in the sun. Yeah, nah, man. Give me the good steak through the heart. Give me the garlic. Give me the holy water to the face. Give me them every now and then they could turn into a bat or some fog or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Simple stuff.
When she
I
said
mean,
the
hell-
silver, I was like, "Ooh, no, not quite. But you're
Right.
close.
And I
I
do
did
like
like-
the fact that that her knowledge wasn't like it just came out of nowhere. Because first she thought they was Hank. She just thought that they was
Mhm.
ghosts, and then she was like, "Oh, I remember so and so saying about this. These ain't Hanks. It was natural to the script, because how sometimes they'll say you have this expert and you don't even know how these people became
Exactly,
an expert.
just-
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
doing the exposition.
Yeah, because at first she thought that they were one way, and then when she started seeing what they were doing and how they were turning people, she's like, "Oh no, this ain't no
Yeah.
Hank. This ain't no Hank."
Mhm.
When she saw Stat get up,
Oh yeah.
she's like, nah, these vampires, my guy.
Mhm.
Yep.
'Cause
He
that ain't
drove
your brother. Yeah, she's like that. That
Ain't
ain't
your brother.
ain't
Hold
your
up.
brother.
Hold up. Don't talk to him.
Let me out this room. That ain't your
And
brother.
again,
That
there
is not
goes
your
that
brother.
dynamic. Yeah, there goes that dynamic between Smoke and Annie. That even though, out of all things, he still trusted what she said. Because you
Yeah.
saw he was looking at her like, "Oh, if you can't convince her. You definitely can't convince me."
Cause he was like, cause at first he was about to be like, yeah, you can come on in. And then she's like, no, wait, don't let him in. Don't do that. And she was like, why can't you just walk in here? And then he started thinking, he was like, wait a minute. You've been walking in and out of here all day. You
All
don't need no
day.
invite now.
Yeah,
And
like you said, you watch your big ass up in.
You been walking your big ass up here, all night.
all
All
night.
the time.
Night.
He said, "Well, I just don't want to be rude."
Rude. That's rude.
Hey,
Yes, we should be.
Hey, I was in there
each other.
dying.
Yeah.
That
I
was
was in
him
there.
acting like Remick.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that was Remick coming through him.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's another thing about lore that I'm because I'm not into a lot of scary, but is this hive mind mentality
vampire-
something in?
Sometimes they have that.
Okay.
Some vampire lore is a hive mind. That's why, if you watch vampire movie back in the day, if you kill the main one, it, I'm saying,
kills off
gets
the-
the infection.
Like I would become human
Yeah.
again if
Right.
I got turned. But in this case, they was like, if we kill him, it's not gonna work.
It's not gonna work that way.
You have to
Which
kill
I
him.
would have liked to see if it would have. Well, no, because they all caught on fire at the end, so we didn't get
Yeah,
a chance. Well, no, because and
I got a
then we
theory-
got them surviving at the end too. So
Theory about that.
about
about-
what?
about how so remember when the clan showed up and they couldn't
Mhm.
get into the juke joint because it was locked?
Yeah.
Stack is in there.
Got you.
Ah, yeah,
They
yeah,
got
yeah,
away.
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
he locked his brother up inside of the juke joint. The
Mhm.
stores are locked. He was basically that was his last. And shout out to the person that gave me this tidbit, but I just wanted to be like,
Nah, that's
like,
dope.
my man-
I didn't even piece that together.
Like, oh, it makes.
I didn't piece that
sense.
together. That's I didn't piece that together.
Because he gotta stay out of the light. So
Mm.
this is him saving his brother as a last ditch, and he's like, let me lock these doors so they don't go in here and kill my brother, which they wouldn't have been able to anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, fam. I just did the same thing. Like,
Oh,
oh shit.
Because
Yeah.
I just thought about it, because it was locked. Because when
It
they
was locked.
went, and I was like, well, and then I couldn't understand why he was still staying there. He didn't really have to stay. He could have burnt the whole juke down. They were
Yeah.
in there. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Because he explained to him that he explained to Sammy at the end. How
Yeah.
did he stay alive? So that's why the end of the first post credit scene is so significant.
So yeah.
So because it ties what you just said, together.
Damn, Mika, who
All
told you that, Mika? Nah, that's Mika's
I can't
take.
disclose my. I can't
No,
disclose
that's your
my
take.
sources.
I don't care who you got it from. It's your take, Mika. It's yours.
It's your
today.
take.
Disclose my
We don't care.
sources.
All right, Jamie Lawson is Perlene. First of all, Jamie Lawson and Wunmi
all
is
the
just
women, all the
I
women
mean,
in
all
this
the women of sinners is fine now.
is fine.
fine.
Yeah.
They fine
now.
Jesus.
They
All
fine.
of them.
All the women of sinners is
All of
fine.
them. What
I
was the
saw
Asian
y'all-
lady? What was the
I saw
Asian
y'all
lady?
lusting over Jamie Lawson talking about she could be Storm on
She
Twitter.
can.
she sure can be.
Look, hey.
But I liked her when I seen her in the Batman when she was the
The
mayor
mayor.
in the Batman.
Mhm.
I was like, first of all, who is this? I was like, first of all, they got a black female mayor in the
Yeah.
Batman. Okay,
Right. That
all
was
right,
wild, right?
And then I seen her. I'm like, she is absolutely, she's gorgeous.
she's
But
gorgeous.
yes, I most definitely can see her as Storm.
Mhm.
Most definitely can
But
see
she
her
too,
as Storm.
she around the same age as my daughter, so
Yeah.
props. But
I
Yeah.
thought she did it. I thought for the thing, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed the singing, because her character wasn't as I didn't get as much backstory on her other than the fact that she was married and she walked there
mm,
and she got her groceries, her salads and things tossed
Right.
and stuff like
Nick-
that. But
Mika, I might have to, not to cut you off, Pam. I don't know if she is. I don't think she had enough to be Oscar worthy.
Okay, so okay.
I'm gonna have to walk
And
it back.
I have to agree. I have to agree because she didn't really have that much screen
Much
time.
screen time, yeah.
She didn't get
Yeah.
that much. We didn't get to the only dialogue that we even got from her was always between her and Preacher Boy. And
Yeah.
also when she was like,
Yeah.
"What was it? What was in that jar?" Like,
Right.
So we couldn't get them pickled.
I'd say she was the green beans of it all. If you were
Yeah.
talking about that
yeah,
meal.
like she was like the
Mhm.
perfect side to the to the rest of the
she was
main
the perfect
course.
size.
Like,
she was
yeah.
she was them green beans. She
Not
didn't have no
right.
she didn't
not
have no
Oscar
mean or
worthy.
potatoes in them green beans. She didn't have no.
But
She
she's gonna
didn't
get
have
an
no
Oscar
meat
anyway
in
because
there.
it's gonna
No
win
ham
Best
hock
Picture.
and potatoes and the green beans. Just
She had none of that in the green beans.
I mean, she had a
So
lot of
what
ham hocks
what
in
I
the bag. I mean,
what
hold
I
on.
would put her as is that you have Sammy as a POV character,
she was the mac and cheese. I'm
Because-
sorry, Dre. She's the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
but she
Literally.
so you got Sammy as a POV character. You know what I mean? Who's seeing everything, and
Right.
she's the additional POV character that's seeing all of this for the first time. She's the added accessory. They're
Mhm.
seeing all of this for the first time. So she added to Sammy because now Sammy has to figure out what he needs to really do to be able
Yeah.
to help save her. So she's just the accessory to the POV character, but I think she did do an excellent job of what she
Oh, no, she
needed to
did,
do.
yeah.
She gave him
Oh,
a
yeah.
love interest. She
Yeah,
gave him
no.
a love interest. You know what I mean? He had emotion that was tied to her. You know what I mean? She wasn't out of place. Have you ever seen a side character come in, but like, why the hell they there? You know
You
what I
talking
mean?
about like
he
in
named
Captain
his-
America and
You mean like
I
that?
wasn't
You
gonna
mean
say
like that random dude that was left behind?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna say that.
Like that
Let
random
me
dude that was
in.
left behind?
Let me in.
He named his club
line.
after her too. He named his club after
Girl,
her.
Perlene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
All
Yep,
right.
yep.
I'm gonna get to this one later, but Delroy Lindo is Delta Slim.
He stole the movie. I ain't gonna hold y'all. He stole the
I didn't
whole
realize
movie.
he was that funny. I didn't
was
He had
realize.
me dying.
Listen, he had the best lines in the movie, like cracking up, laughing, bruh.
Because when he
Delroy
said
Lindo
he-
was in the show that I used to. If y'all like Delroy Lindo, he was in the show that was on Paramount Plus. It was shit. He was a lawyer in that. That's that whole.
Yeah,
If
I know
y'all
what
see
you-
that where he was talking
the
about
clip.
say it. You want to say
Yeah.
nigga, say it. That's from that show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He's funny in that show, and he does the little quips and cracks and jokes. You know what I'm saying? But he's very real. He's a father authority figure in that. He
Mhm.
Delroy Lindo is like it's crazy.
he got shot in that show too.
Yeah, he did. Delroy Lindo, he's been around since I was a kid. I think the first time I seen
ever
him was
since-
Malcolm X.
The first time I
think.
saw him was
Malcolm
in
X?
that Aaliyah movie with Jet Li.
That was the first time you saw him. I saw him in
That's the
Malcolm
first
X.
time I seen-
First time I seen him is Malcolm X.
Malcolm
That's the
X,
first time
Okay,
I seen him.
I didn't remember him in Malcolm X.
Yeah,
I just remember him in that Jet Li and Aaliyah
because
movie.
he was in Malcolm X. He was the dude from Jamaica or that came over, and they were when he was still,
He was still Detroit City Red.
Detroit Red. So yeah,
Mhm.
that's the first time I seen him. But even like this, the Five Bloods, it's
Yeah.
almost damn near anything he is.
Well, he still
like,
he
he
steals
steals it.
he steals it.
Scenes, yeah, he steals it.
Locked up.
He got to
He
get
is-
supported actor. He
And
got to
not
be
just
nominated
being
at least.
funny, he also delivered one of the deepest monologues in
Yeah.
the movie.
Oh
as
yeah,
well,
when he was
too.
driving in the car.
And that scene alone, I was just like, you talk about a scene that moved you, that moved me.
And
Yeah.
you could hear everything
why it
that's
moved me.
going on.
Mhm.
You know, when he was talking about, and then they end up listening in front of everybody. You hear the
Shout out
truth.
to Ryan Coogler for not showing that.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
you can hear
still
it. You
make
can
you
hear
feel it.
that, but you
felt
can hear it.
Yeah.
You can
Mhm.
hear it because you
And
hear
shout out to
the
Delroy for his face, like
his
he-
face
It
the
was
whole
pain
time.
in his face and saying it.
And then he turned around and started singing a song out of
Yep.
it. That's why I
Mhm.
said that's
Yep.
why
And
it,
he improvised that part. That when he
What?
started singing, he improvised that part.
I
And
can
that's
believe
because you
that.
got
was
to
just-
because it's so emotional.
and that's part of the blues. The blues
Yep.
is taking
Thank-
your
yes,
pain and turning it into
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
So like
And
that's
he
why I said
improvised
when,
that scene.
that's why I said when you tap that into the scene where Sammy is singing and all that emotion, all of that because he was telling them, boy, you too young, you don't know nothing about no blues. What you know about the blues?
He said,
You
"Tell
know
him
what
what
I
your
mean?
name is."
Yeah, and then once you
He
hear
went off
that
after
story,
that.
because
Yeah.
Sammy is in the car listening to that story
Yeah.
with Stack. So
Yeah.
they were listening to that story, but I think to me, Sammy took it in even more because he's the young buck learning
Yeah.
from the older men. Like that is a lot to be able to take on. So when I do this music, when I play this music, I gotta give it not only for me, but for everybody
Everybody
who
around me,
hears that.
right?
But his whole experience that night led him to where led him to where he was. You know what I'm saying? Where
Right.
he became a famous musician playing the blues. You know what? If I had went through the same thing, I guarantee you, look, I'm taking all that in. Ain't nothing else in the world gonna top vampires taking my peoples away.
Right.
Right.
Mhm.
And how heavy when you get back to that car scene, how heavy it was, and then how because his voice, and as it should have, his voice cracked when he was talking about that, about that damn fool. He had the money, and then they lynched him and took pieces of him, and that just hit me like, oh, people don't understand how people live back in those days.
How he stopped after he said, and they took his manhood.
Yes. And then he started tapping.
And he started tapping.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
All that was improvised. But that's how powerful that scene was to him as well too. Like just how it hit us, it hit him too. And so then he was just like, I just started singing.
Yeah,
West
and that's
Indian
why.
artist.
And that's why I said the blues and our songs and our power. I think that's why so many people get mad. Even now about modern day rap, because modern day rap wasn't. It was the fun, it was the party, but we really was giving messages and social messages. And look how again the movie incorporates that.
Yeah, I call blues resistance music, and everything after that predates that, right? Or I'm sorry, follows that.
Or follows that, yeah.
Blues, R&B, hip hop, you know what I'm saying? Like it's all resistance music. That's what we from the blues to what's my man?
Jazz or
just all, you know what I'm saying? All Motown singers up until you know what I'm saying? It was all about resistance and telling a story. And even when Marvin Gaye did shit.
What's going on?
What's going on? That's what it. When he did What's Going On, they told him not that they weren't gonna put out that record because they didn't want to be political, and he did it anyway.
Yeah,
he did it anyway.
I mean, you talk about church music. you know, real gospel music. You feeling all of that, not that, not that other stuff. I'm talking about real gospel music. You tapping into it,
I like that,
into that pain. So I loved every minute of it. Okay, Omar Bisson and Miller is cornbread.
Listen,
Gotta be kind and love on one another.
listen. When he was out in that field, he was like, "Man, fuck your quarter." He was like,
Dead.
"Man, that's my wife right here." He was like,
It's-
"Man,
Fuck your wife.
like,
Jesus,
What?
exactly. And he was like, "You get this money, she might let you. She might put your little pecker in her mouth."
And she was like, how much money?
Exactly.
And you know what the sad part about it is, he ain't never coming home.
Damn.
He ain't
Damn.
never,
She ain't never
coming
getting that
home.
money,
Damn.
He ain't never coming
and she better be
home.
raising that baby by herself.
Mm-mm.
Mhm.
Damn, cornbread.
I wonder what
Yeah,
person
He-
she
but
is.
I ain't gonna lie, he had the funniest line.
He had
And,
Why you
he
brought
had one
that
of the
up,
funniest
Mika?
line.
I'm just saying.
Well, you know, you think about it. He didn't come home, and you know, and
Yeah.
now he's gonna be cornbread. And she don't even know what happened with cornbread. That little nigga didn't even
Mm-mm.
come back. I need to have me up here with this baby and
Yeah.
all this other. He just
He
gonna
done
went off
ran
with that
off.
woman. That
Ran off
woman
with the
that
money.
He done went on, yeah,
Mhm.
Jew joint, messing around with the stack twins, and now he probably done left with some hussy, and now I'm up here raising this baby by myself,
Yeah.
working out in
Right.
this
Oh,
field.
don't worry about it. You can go get you another husband. It's plenty.
Apparently,
that's-
Berlin,
yeah,
Berlin
apparently that's
teaches
the
you.
thing.
Berlin husband ain't take yeah.
Berlin husband is there.
Berlin husband is
Berlin's husband's available if you need him.
he available.
Couple husbands out there available.
Matter
Go
of
on, get
fact, so is Mary's if you like
Go get
that.
his
You know what I
husband,
mean?
You like white
Yeah.
men? There you go.
But he said so. When it was funny because he was delivering that line, and you see the piece of the flesh off the
Ugh.
side of his face. I'm like, ugh.
Ugh. He said, "Where you been at, man? I told you I had to go see a man about a dog."
Yeah. Oh my god! But I thought that was funny. You know who I'm about to get to? You ought to about to get to.
I already know.
Wing
It's
Chung Lee as Grace
it's
Chow
great.
Yeah.
pissed off
Mhm.
everybody in my theater.
I ain't gonna hold you. Okay, at first I
made
was
sense to
pissed
me.
off. At first I was pissed off at
Me
her.
too. Yeah.
But once I've seen it, I've seen it multiple times now. I understood where she came from.
Me too.
Yeah.
Any mother
Mhm.
would have did
Yep.
the
That's the same thing I said,
damn
Mika.
thing. You would,
Yep.
Yeah.
what you're not gonna do. You could take my husband. Go ahead and take him. But what you not finna do is you not
Threaten my
finna threaten
baby.
my kids.
Yeah.
That's what you're not
Yeah.
gonna do.
Mhm.
You know what was so dope about that scene? Because that was a powerful scene too. When she let him in, she ran past everybody and went straight to her
It
husband.
was
And
her
went straight to
husband.
her husband.
And then,
She
I'm
wanted
not
to be
gonna
the one
lie.
to take her husband
Yep.
out.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of heartbreaking because if you notice, they kept right back to the scene of her burning with her husband.
Staking
I
his
was low
ass.
key
too.
mad at that part though. I ain't gonna hold you.
You was low key mad?
I was low key mad at that part because I was like, you did. This is the first time I watched it. I was
Mhm.
mad at that part because I was like, man, you let them in and you ain't even you only killed one of them.
You didn't even take nobody out.
You ain't even take nobody else out.
Well, you know, I would look at it like this because you have to look at it from if we just look at it from a different lens. You know, she's there and working in between two worlds. Her
Mhm.
family is the ones that is the grocers for two different worlds.
Yep.
Which was great.
That
That was a great scene.
yeah, and then the only other person that she had was her husband and her child.
Yeah.
And the way you can tell that she loved her when she saw her husband did not flinch when that man was getting turned,
Oh,
and how she looked and how she realized that and let's be real clear,
That ain't
her
your man no
world
more.
yeah, her world was based on her husband and her child.
yeah.
And if her husband
Mhm.
was gone, her stability was gone, her stuff was gone. So she was going to make sure that because she heard Annie, I think if I'm not mistaken, she heard Annie say that if I get bit, make sure you stake me or anything. I'm not, if I'm not
Yeah.
mistaken.
Mhm.
She heard, so she knew what her goal was, to make sure that her husband was able to go see his ancestors and not be living in a world of things. So I can definitely see where she was coming from. But baby, I was still pissed off. Like you go outside and handle that by yourself. You don't be bringing me in. Don't bring me into your stuff. That's just like, you know.
When I saw it, I said, "What? Why was she?" And then, but as the chaos was going on, I thought about it. I said, "It made all the sense in the world. We're not gonna survive tonight. And my daughter ain't gonna survive tonight.
True.
Yeah.
We gotta make a move. I know, Smoke. I know you military. That was you, Mr. Military Man, right? I get it. Take your time, think it out. Ain't no thinking this one out. We gotta handle business. Shit gotta be handled now, and I'm willing to die for mine.
Yeah.
Just like you willing to die for yours, I'm willing to die for mine, and mine is at the house. You know what I'm saying? So
and if she
it made all the sense of the
I ain't
world.
got no kids.
and if she had held, but then I was thinking too. She
Hey, hold
the
on,
only thing-
man. Did she call Remick a cracker? Who called? Didn't somebody say that?
I don't know who did.
They did.
The
Mo-
Asian lady
cracker.
said. I think did she say that cracker spoke Chinese to me?
Yeah,
Is that
she
what
did say
Yes.
Oh, she did say that. I didn't even know that they used.
like
They-
Chris up here, gang.
I was about to say, I didn't even know that they used that in the 1930s.
Yes,
They
it
kept
did.
saying
I thought she said, excuse me, white folks. I thought she said Peckerwood.
No, she
That's-
said
Nah, she said cracker.
Oh, wow.
She said
Yeah.
But I think the thing, and again, because again, we have to also look at it from the lens that you're talking about people who are afraid. They've just seen something that they've never seen before. They don't know how things are
Yeah.
supposed to go. But I was like, dang, if you only knew he was really just after Sammy, and had you not invited them in, they would have been still circling the place looking for Sammy, because that was
Into the
his
morning.
goal. Yeah, and into the morning, and once the morning hit, you could have went in, got your baby, and y'all
Yup.
could have
Oh,
left.
yeah. And she told him, all we got to do is ride it out into the morning till the
Maybe.
sun comes up.
But that's maybe.
But you have to look at it through her lens,
Yeah.
right?
Right,
Mm.
exactly.
Through her lens. Remick just sat up in her face, spoke Chinese to her,
And said
Told
what he was
her.
gonna do.
told
Yeah.
her, "And we gonna take a trip. If y'all don't let us in, we finna go take a trip into town, and we gonna go
Right.
visit Lisa. They
Question.
won't go make it to sunrise."
Question. Why couldn't they come in? That's the only question that
That's
I
the
had.
vampire lore.
That's
Evil
well,
can't let evil in, like you said, Dre. Evil has to be
So-
invited in. In anything you do, if you
Right.
think about it, evil, any kind of negativity has to be invited into, whether
Correct.
it's your spirit, your soul, whatever. Once you let it in, it's in there.
and
it's
it's
up to
not
you
even
to
really.
take
I mean, it's attached to vampire lore, but it's just lore. Period. Like
lore,
I'm about to
period.
say, they didn't do that in
in
Blade.
order to let evil in, you have to invite it in.
Yep,
It
you
don't
gotta
just
invite it
come
in.
in. You have to invite it in.
Yep.
So
And
that's
you
the reason why
remember-
vampires cannot come across the threshold
Yep.
unless you invite them in.
And you remember how Remick saw the juke joint? He could
Mhm.
see everybody in there, but he couldn't. But that veil of wood or whatever it is, he could see everything that was going on in there, but he couldn't. You know how? Am I remembering that scene correctly? Because when it looked like the place was burning down, when
Mhm.
he looked at it, it was just like he saw all the people dancing. He could see through the wood, but he knew he couldn't penetrate that veil because it was
Yep.
like a veil. Going across that threshold is important.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mm.
what you invite in. Yeah, you've got to be very careful with what you invite into your home.
And that's why when Mary when Mary came back, her invite was her request was smooth. It was like, so you just gonna stand there, you gonna let me in.
Mhm.
And Cornbread's not he ain't thinking like, why you asking to be let in? Like
Yeah, he
Right.
was
he's
looking
literally the
funny.
doorman. He blocking the door.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
He was looking funny too, because he was like, why would she be asking me? Like, you like,
Yeah,
gone.
like, yeah,
But
come
But it was
on,
after
yeah.
the fact. It was
Yeah,
after
he
the
was
fact.
like, he was like,
Mhm.
let's stack handle this. I ain't finna be bothered with
I
this.
ain't
Let's
finna
stack
deal with
handle.
This
Yeah.
white lady who thinks she black, I ain't dealing with this.
When
Deal
she
with
first stepped up, she was like, hey, is you supposed to be here?
Right.
She was like, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that part's funny. That part is hilarious.
Yeah.
But and then I think the last one was Bo before we start getting into a lot
Bo
of
was smooth as
the
hell. I don't know where Bo was
side
from, but he
characters.
did not have no Mississippi accent or Asian accent. Where the hell was Bo from?
Hey, you know what's funny is that I had a friend of mine when I lived in Houston. I had a good friend of mine that was with a Vietnamese that had a Louisiana cuisine shop in Baton Rouge, and I was sitting there like, it was like, yeah, man, we make. I'm looking like, hey, I felt like Chris Tucker. He was like, hey, man, speak right. What are you talking about? You talking about you make well like etouffee and all of this? I'm
Now,
like, hey,
I was
man, you
talking to my
Vietnamese,
homeboy.
man.
He from that area, the like the Delta and all of
Yeah.
that. And he said it is that Asian. And then I went and did some history, but it was a large population of Asians in that area around
Mhm.
that time. You know what I'm saying?
That's where you get
So-
the yakamine and all that other kind of cuisine.
Mm.
Was fusing those cuisines together.
It said Bo was from Chicago.
Was Bo from
Let's-
Chicago?
Let Mika, let's get our resident expert since she's seen him many times. Was he from
Yeah, was
Chicago?
Bo-
I just heard he asked about Chicago. I didn't know if he was from Chicago. I know he asked about them. He asked about, like, I heard y'all was up in Chicago and y'all hit
Yeah,
it.
I heard that part.
I didn't know if he was.
They messing with you, Dre.
Uh,
Vietnamese. Yeah, I don't know where Bo was from. Bo was from. He was from 2025.
He was from
where
the
Bo
north.
from.
Let's just go with that.
No, yeah, he was from. They were from somewhere because Bo was too smooth. Bo was a smooth brother, man.
he was.
He walked out that door and he first of all, let's talk about little Lisa too. Lisa was like, Daddy.
Yeah,
Where little Lisa from?
Exactly.
Oh man, they was.
She
in
had
that,
an attitude too.
Yeah.
Daddy.
Yeah.
Daddy.
And did you
She's like,
see
"You
how
look
significant
guilty
that
as
was
charged." Yeah, look.
that you saw how she had to walk from the black store over to the white store.
White store. Yep.
But that just proves to you that Asians can set up shop in the black community
Mm.
and in the white community, and
Yep.
that and even back then, back in those days too, they set up on both sides. 'Cause
Both sides.
where you gonna go? Where the money resides? Where the money
Where the money
resides?
resides.
Yep, I dig it. Yeah, so that's all the characters I wanted to go over. Plots of the movie though, like what was your you guys' takeaway for the overall plot of the movie? Like because I know there's so multi layers of this, but the overall plot, what did you guys think about it?
Which movie? It was 3 movies in this.
I was gonna say it's like multiple, like it's multiple short films in one movie.
Yeah, it was multiple.
It was
for-
so much going. It was so much
It was a
going
lot
on.
going on. It was,
But was
for
it so
me,
much going on
I
that it
would
wasn't?
say I would say that for this movie I did appreciate Ryan for making the racism in the movie, but not making it the overall plot of the movie. I did enjoy that because I was very satiated and satisfied at the end of that movie in
Yeah.
regards to Smoke doing what he had to do. I was very satiated with that. For that, I do think that overall is regardless of what your circumstances are, there are choices that you have to make, and you have to make what's best for your life. I felt bad for Smoke because I think that Smoke was thinking that he had to make these choices of doing because again, he felt like he was the protector of his brother. He felt like him and his brother, they shared a past and a love that was unmatched, which is true. But I think he sacrificed a lot of different things for that love for his brother. And I think that for him coming back and then him realizing that he really didn't have to do all the stuff that he did. I think he realized at the end when he looked and his Annie was breastfeeding a baby and she was gonna let him hold him if he put the cigarette down. Yeah. I think he only realized at that point that he had different choices that he could have made, and that he was his brother's keeper, yes, but his brother also had to keep himself. And I think he realized pretty much at the end that a lot of the choices that he made and a lot of the sins that he committed. He took on and he committed. He really didn't have to. He could have stayed home and let the hoodoo woman hoodoo him forever.
I say from the beginning, because when he told the story about how Smoke killed their daddy, Smoke being technically the older brother, because he was like, because even Stack said, he's like, I'm talking to my older brother. Right. Like Smoke was always looking out for Stack. Like, and he knew that he even said it to Sammy. He was like, you need to watch out for him because he reckless. He basically reckless. Like he knows his brother. but he also knows that he needs to protect his brother. Like no matter what, he's his brother's keeper. Like he's always going to look out for Stack. And the thing about it is that Stack knows it. Like he's like, if I get in trouble, my brother got me.
My brother gonna be there. Yeah.
And
I got a younger brother just like that.
Yeah, and that was causing him to be in this you know, and I guess that's just a little younger brother thing. I guess maybe that's what that is. But he did that, and that puts Smoke in a position where his life seemed like he was just protecting Stack from his some of his bad decisions. And I don't think at some point that had to not be his role anymore. Some point Stack was going to have to stand up and take on his decision.
Even Annie asked him whose idea was it about getting the money and all of that from the
I bet it was
like, whose
Stack.
idea was it?
We know it was Stack. Stack was like, hey, man, we rob these people. We gonna go back down to Mississippi and open up a juke joint. And Smoke was like, what?
And to Rob Capone, you know what I'm saying? I still want to see that. That's the movie I want to see now. You know what I mean? Like, how did you do it?
Throwing some supernatural type stuff in that
too.
Yeah,
he said he pitted the two families against each other, and then they just, you know,
that was one of the articles. That was one of the articles on Spotify that they talked about too. Yeah,
which is funny because I watched Michael Francese, and which is a former mob boss, and he talks about the history of the mob, and that's kind of a based on a true story. The two families, Lucky Luciano and all of them, was beefing with the Jewish mob, and the Italian mob was beefing with each other. It ain't too far fetched. You know what I mean? It ain't too far fetched. In Chicago too. Yeah.
Hey, pull up Jimmy, brother Jimmy. Yeah, pull that up, because I had a discussion about that today at work, man. I don't know. I think he was ready to go, and maybe he did take off the the Mojo Sack. I forgot what it's called, but I think
because you remember that. Yeah, you remember that Mojo Sack was also keeping Stack from biting him. He couldn't bite him, and I think he was ready to go. I think he wanted to get this done, and he was ready to go.
Because his brother was gone. His brother was gone.
His brother was gone. His girl was gone.
Yeah.
He had no money.
Right. Wasn't nothing there to keep him. You know, so I think that was what was so significant about him.
He basically went on a suicide mission.
Yeah, it was.
Right.
He knew it was
I mean, they were coming anyway to get him, so I might as well take as many of them out as possible.
But no, it goes back to what Pam said. He could have just burnt the juke joint down.
It all down.
Yeah,
but he did. He was like, no, I'm not. You know what? My girl gone. My brother's gone. My brother's gone. Period. At this point, I don't want to be a vampire. Like.
Didn't he give Sammy money? He gave Sammy money, right? What did he give Sammy?
He gave Sammy the keys to the car.
Is that what it was?
And he has a piece of that guitar.
Piece of the guitar.
Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
So remember at the beginning of the movie when he was riding with Stack, and he was like, "How fast does car go?" And he was like, "Oh, pretty fast." He's like, "You want to drive it, huh?" And he's like, "Yeah." He said, "On the way back." And then I was like, "What car did he drive on the way back?"
That car.
He could be watching
Stack's car back.
She's seen it 80 times. That domestic budget. Thanks, Mika.
It's all on my back.
That's dope.
That's right. You put that whole movie on your back. Great.
But no, like I think overall, like this like me and Blue was saying, this movie has so many layers to it. Like it was about, you know, the hive mentality when it came to vampires, and you know, like the music, and it just and the brotherly love, and you know, like it was just so much to this movie that you just can't say, oh, this movie's about this. This movie's about this. Like I hate the people that have left negative reviews about this movie saying, oh, I was expecting more from a vampire movie. First of all, boo-boo, it's not a vampire movie.
It's not.
Nope.
It's not a vampire movie.
The vampire part is just an aspect of the movie, but it's not really a vampire movie.
Right. And somebody asked me what genre would Sinners fall into, and I said it's more Southern Gothic folk horror because it leans into Southern Gothic, which is more atmosphere, you know, more about the South and stuff like that, and into the folklore where like the music and like everything else into it, but also leading into the supernatural by adding in the vampires.
This was the Color Purple.
It's a vampire movie.
The Color
No, it
Purple
ain't.
vampire.
No, it's not.
No, but
It
It's
was-
not the color purple.
No,
with
like
vampires.
blue's not
It
like
is.
honestly, it really is
It's the Color
the
Purple.
color purple
vampire.
with vampires.
Don't think of the story Color Purple, but I'm
Think of
talking
the
about
juke-
like
because
the
I-
think of the juke
theme and the
joint.
overarching everything
Oh,
that's
okay.
going
Yeah.
on.
Oh, okay.
No,
Not,
yeah.
not the
Because
story.
then
You know,
you
I
gotta
ain't
be
talking about
thinking
the
this
story.
is gonna,
Point in
this is
there.
gonna come around. You sure is ugly. Now that I'm a vampire, you really an ugly motherfucker.
No, like the juke joint aspect of it. You know,
Yeah,
what
the
I'm
whole
saying?
And
like
I
you
just
said,
had
the
another
Southern
thought.
Gothic.
I had another thought on Smoke. I think
Mhm.
at that moment too, he was able to live his life on his own terms.
Yeah.
He was gonna
Yeah,
go out.
yeah.
He was
The
gonna
way he
go out
wanted
the
to
way
go
he
out.
wanted to. He didn't have to worry about his
Mhm.
brother because his brother was gone. His woman was gone. His baby was gone. He was gonna live out his life on his own terms, and he was gonna do it because he wanted to do it, not necessarily because the circumstances around something happened. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I did like the way he took out all the races at the end. My theater started cheering.
Only on the third time, everybody started cheering. I just sat there. I was just like, I see
It's
it.
crazy.
I've
You
already
know,
seen
it was
80
wild.
times.
It was a lot of white people in my theater. Lot of white folks in my theater, and they was eating this movie up. I wasn't
Yeah.
expecting them to eat it up the way that they ate it up. They ate the movie up, man. They
Yeah.
ate the movie up.
Hell, sometimes they get tired of white racists. Kill them. Just shoot them.
And
Like-
what Aisha said, they never marketed this movie as a
No,
vampire
they didn't.
Nah, they didn't.
Remember, I
because
kept
I
saying,
remember me
we-
and Blue was talking about it, and I
but
was like,
me and you
"Is this
talked
a
about
vampire?"
it.
Well, I think all three.
We all talked about
Yeah,
it.
because I'm
Like-
like, I don't think it's a vampire movie. I
I
will
thought
say
it was about
this.
demons.
Exactly. I'm glad I did this. I'm glad I did not see the second trailer. I only seen the first trailer and
What was the
kept
second trailer?
everything else
When,
because
when they showed the
because they
snippet
actually
of-
show.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, they actually
that
show Mary. They show Mary turning, her being a vampire.
I only
We
I
gonna
only
kill
saw
all
the
of
first
y'all.
part, and I
All
saw
of
the
that.
cornbread. I saw the cornbread, but by that time, the
seen all of
vampire thing was out. You know what I'm saying?
But
It
I
was-
miss. But see, this
but I
is what
didn't
I'm
see that
saying.
second trailer neither.
I personally made sure I only seen one trailer.
Mm.
And I'm glad I did because everything that I didn't know Mary was turning, I didn't know anything. And
That's the best
even
part of the
with them, even when they showed the trailer, the aspects of the trailer did not give away the movie at all. Nowhere close. Did
Mhm.
not give away did not give away this movie whatsoever. So I got to give the marketing department their props for not giving away this movie. They showed the end, and you don't know still what's happening.
But
Right.
so even when they showed, I remember because I think it was me and Blue that saw this because me and Blue talked about it, and I was like, "Who killing vampires with a Tommy gun?"
Yeah.
I said that too. I
And then
said
I was
that-
like,
I
in the
thought
middle
that
of the
too.
daytime,
Vampire
too.
movie,
In the
gotta
middle of
be
the
demons.
daytime. Yeah, because a lot of
Yeah.
that first trailer, a lot of stuff was during the day.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of stuff was during
A
the day.
lot of it was during the day, and they only
Mhm.
showed the night when they showed them dancing in the juke joint.
Yeah.
Yep.
hmm
So that's why I like it. I'm like, the movie wasn't ruined for me because of the trailer. I loved all of that.
I mean,
I
even
think-
though I watched all the trailers and I watched the cornbread scene because Ryan Coogler posted it.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
even though I watched all of it, like it didn't spoil the movie for me. Like you don't
I
you
don't
don't
even
know
know
exactly.
if you could spoil this movie.
Right. I was
'cause it
gonna
was
say
3
you
movies.
couldn't really spoil this movie because you don't know exactly at which point Mary turned. Like
Yeah.
it just showed her as a vampire, and I was
I
like,
thought
okay.
she had been a vampire all along. I
Me
thought
too.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I thought so
Exactly,
too.
me too.
And then
I
I saw
think
the
we
train
all-
station. I was like,
Because I was like,
Did
she's. I hate to say it, but I'm like, she the only white person in this juke joint.
Right.
She a vampire. And
I,
I was
I kept
wrong.
seeing that picture. I did see the picture of her with the blood. So I'm with y'all. I always thought that she was just a vampire from
I
Brit.
thought she
So
was a
when,
vampire that
when
got
she
let
showed
in.
up at the train station, I was like, wait, she out in the light.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
shit, Daywalker.
That's what I thought. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, now she Blade.
She a daywalker. Look at this, you know.
Oh,
And again,
man.
I would not have guessed that she had a backstory like she did. I mean,
Yeah.
you know,
They
I
gave
didn't,
everybody a backstory. Everybody had a unique backstory.
yeah, I
And
didn't
you-
have that.
Which was that's what made this movie dope too. They made you fall in love with the character to take them away from you.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Very true. Only person that didn't really have a backstory was Perlene. Everybody else, they kind
We
of
knew she had a
dived in.
husband.
Yeah, boy, who cares? He
Well,
was, he was,
Who
hey,
wasn't gonna
she
be
went
getting no
to,
money. No,
We didn't get
what-
Bo and Child's backstory either. We just knew that they owned the
well,
store.
we
Yeah.
got enough of it. You know what I'm saying? Because
we knew,
Yeah.
we knew that they knew Smoking Stack. They
Mhm.
knew that they had a relationship. Bo had a relationship with Smoking Stack. They all had a relationship.
Yeah.
You knew that. You knew that they were working, like you said, they're working for the white side
White
of the
side,
other
black
side
side.
and the black side. Black
Mhm.
side. You knew that she loved you. You seen her daughter. Hey, daddy.
Yeah.
you knew
Hey,
she had a
daddy.
daughter. So there is still a connection there, even though we didn't get the because
How
I
they
don't
came
I'm not
over
saying-
off the boat
how
or
they
whatever.
came over, yeah,
we
but
didn't
but
get
you
all
still
that,
you still knew that they were there, and they got
Mhm.
enough interaction where you kind of felt like, damn, I hate
And-
that you invited him in, but
Right, and even
But you
Perlene,
got with
because
your husband.
Perlene was the love interest of the POV character that you talked
Yeah,
about,
that's
right?
what-
So
That's
that
right.
made her
Exactly.
have enough connection to the audience to when she
Right.
got to, you know what I'm saying? Like
Herlene's
introduced-
senses was so satiated that night. She
didn't care. Yeah, she was good.
she was
She was-
her senses
What
was
she was gonna say
satiated.
when, if she would have made it back home? What was she gonna say?
I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
I'm out.
Daddy on the phone. It's gonna be like on,
Yeah, put
all
daddy
the-
on- hey,
You.
put your daddy on the phone.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
me.
Herlene
I
had
ain't
all
coming back.
Herlene
Okay.
had all her senses. She had her human rose. She was able to get on stage and sing her through her
Rose.
feelings. And then she turned into a vampire, and then she had that whole
Oh.
satiation feeling. So
That's
Herlene
crazy.
had Herlene like a old preacher
Really,
boy
I-
said that was the best night of their lives until the
Yeah,
vampire. That was the
the
best night of their
vampire showed up.
lives.
Them damn vampires.
Hold on, wait a minute. I ain't
Go
gonna
back
lie
to
though.
sleep.
I was laughing when Stat came up to the door and was like,
Was listening.
"Oh, preacher boy, becoming the man."
He said, "I guess he found that button."
He found that button, yeah.
To go back to Sheed's comment, we have to get out of this mindset that we need a backstory on everything. Like if they
No,
just
we
show
don't-
up,
yeah.
they just show up.
Right.
Like, but if you do want the backstory, you need to go on Spotify because there's a whole article written about
But see,
how he showed up.
I thought Remick was dope. I looked at it from different angles with Remick. I looked at it because remember he just fell out of the sky.
Yeah,
He did. He
In the daylight.
legitimately
I said-
fell out the sky.
I said, "Oh, fallen angel, vampire." I started putting all that stuff together.
Yeah.
Satan being a fallen angel, trying to bring people. Remember, he was beautiful. He brought people in with music,
Music,
all types of stuff. I started thinking. My brain just started
Mhm.
going. You know what I'm saying?
And
I'm
also,
like,
you noticed that he could jump really high because you remember how he jumped on
He-
Mary.
yeah.
He
yeah.
came in through there.
mhm.
He had
The
hot.
only thing that I thought that if I wanted any more information on, because like I said, the Native Americans was like deuces. We told y'all don't want to listen. We go.
Yeah.
Hey, we ain't
Native
coming back.
Americans like,
They said,
bye.
"We'll pray for you, man."
Right.
I would
Oh,
have
you don't want our
loved-
help? Okay, bye.
You didn't see him for the rest of the movie. I thought they was gonna come
told
back.
That told me that they had in their folklore or anything, they knew how to deal with Remy.
Deal with it.
Because
Yeah.
I think that they had
Mhm.
Remy, and then Remy was able to. That's why he was able to get. He made a last ditch effort to get away. They had him, and I
Yeah.
think he was jumping like the Hulk to get away with it.
Right. No, right.
And
Right.
so I think they had them. And that's where, again, if you're talking about the themes, that's how racism keeps you behind,
Mhm.
because your racist tail looked at them and looked at how they looked and thought that you were better than they were.
Yep.
They're trying to explain to you, don't invite that don't invite that thing
Like
in.
that.
But
Yeah,
she
yo, how?
saw that. Yeah, she saw the white skin and didn't want to believe it until she saw her husband get his sticky tail off the floor. So
Right.
I
With
I
the
think that,
slobber.
yeah,
Mhm.
I the only if I do want the smoking snack but if I wanted to see anything more, I would have loved to have seen him Remick right at dusk running from these people, because I think he wreaked havoc over there with the Native Americans.
Yeah.
And I would have loved to have seen more of him but like you said, Blue, it was for us to see him just, it really wasn't necessary just to know that he was coming out of the star. He was bent, he was burnt up, something
Mhm.
wasn't right.
You
Right.
may not have known what wasn't right, but you knew something wasn't right with him. And
And and it's you don't need a backstory on a vampire. I don't need backstory on Dracula. I don't need backstory on any
Exactly.
kind of.
You
You know what I'm
don't.
saying? He's a vampire.
He's a
That's
vampire.
all we need to know. He's a
As soon as
vampire.
I seen him smoking,
And he's
it-
old.
And he's
Well,
old.
yeah.
That's all you
He
need to
looked
know.
like bacon. I was like, that's a
exactly,
vampire.
it's a vampire. Yeah,
That's all I
exactly.
need.
But
But
is
but
over
he
here.
did tell us. You know, he was bits and pieces came out about him though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
was
'cause he started
telling
talking
us
about the Roman Empire.
Well,
Backstory.
yeah.
He literally said,
Yeah.
he literally told his backstory.
right.
Yeah, he
Yup.
said the Roman Empire, so you know he old.
He was talking.
He had gold.
Yeah, gold.
Yeah,
Yeah,
gold. That's-
gold.
He was like, it
First of
spins
all-
the same.
First of all, Mary was rich and she didn't know it. Because she had the gold in her hand. I would have took off running right there.
Oh,
he
yeah.
had the Hulk. He had the
She
Hulk
was like,
find me.
Oh,
he had to
but
get
that's gold, baby.
real gold, real gold.
Mhm.
They probably would have got shot for it, but Mary wouldn't. But the black people would have, because they were like, "Why is that that nigga all over there on that neck with the
Right.
gold?"
Right.
Uh-oh, now Tina.
Uh-oh.
Tina want to bring herself up in here
Uh-oh.
talking about wait till I
Wait
get home.
home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you gonna whoop us. You know what I mean? I don't take that kindly, ma'ams.
Wait till I get home. Sound like my mama back in the day. Wait till we get home.
You better make sure them dishes is clean.
Mhm. You took that meat out. Did you take that
Mhm.
meat
Did you
out?
take that meat out.
Oh man. Oh
The hamburger
man.
be
Oh,
still frozen.
man.
I'm gonna whoop everybody up in here.
I didn't hear.
Look, I am not staying here all night with y'all tonight. I can't do it. We finna get a good couple minutes out and I got to go. Nah, I'm just
Why your
jumping in
background
on
green,
y'all.
huh? Huh?
What
you
color
owe?
should it
Money
Did they
green.
get you too? Did you get some
Money
drool
green.
on why your background green?
No. What's
Them
up, guys? Mika, Pam, Blue, Dre.
What's up?
What's up?
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the replay to see what
No,
y'all
we're
talking
not
about.
getting another 4 hours.
I like how Tina
No.
took
It'll be
your
here
whole
for 4
family. I
hours.
thought that was dope, Tina. You taking your whole family. I thought that was dope. That was
That
dope.
was
Oh,
dope.
look,
That was super dope.
I probably would have rented a theater out, but I was like, it's Easter weekend, but
Mhm.
yeah.
That was
That
dope.
is, damn, and you know that's crazy. Dropping this on Easter weekend that's a
It was
flex.
420 too. Cause some
Yeah.
of us
Yeah.
some of us was a little perked up a little this
little.
weekend. And I ain't gonna hold no names.
Mhm.
Yeah. What y'all ranking it? I know Blue said he loved it. What y'all giving it?
Yeah, man. Loved
What
it,
y'all
loved it,
ranking
loved
it?
I'm giving
What's
it
y'all
an
rank?
11 out of 10.
It's
Okay.
I don't want to call it a perfect movie, but if a movie could be perfect, this is one of them.
Close. What you got, Mika? Because you're a horror girl. I can't hear.
Sorry. So because I already said
Right.
it, it's not really because it is Southern Gothic horror. I gave it a 5 out of 5 still, but I was just like, it wasn't. I wouldn't call it necessarily a complete horror movie. Like it,
Right,
Because
right,
it's not.
right.
It has
Because
horror
it's not.
aspects.
It has,
Yeah.
it has like Dre said, it has horror aspects, but like to call it like a complete horror movie, like I can't say that. Like I'm like, it teeters, but that's not the main premise of this movie. It's not really
Right.
It's not all. It ain't because a lot of people on social media was like, "Oh, how scary is this movie?" I was like, "Scary."
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, I was like, "It's not."
Yeah. Pam, where you got it at?
I gave it 4 out of 5 stars when I reviewed
Dang,
it.
so I'm the lowest on it, and y'all know I'm Team Kugler, and I'm low. I gave it 8.5.
That ain't low though. I don't think that's low.
Yeah.
You gave it a B plus.
Yeah, that ain't low.
Yeah, I gave it a B+.
I seen somebody give it a 1 out of 5.
That's great. Now that's
They
crazy.
was mad. That's because they was mad at that end.
No, he gave it a
And-
1 out of 5 because he said that it broke the cardinal rule of vampire movies. It was boring, and I was like, "That's because it wasn't a vampire movie."
Wasn't a
Dodo.
vampire movie.
Exactly.
Oh, I
again-
watched some boring ass vampire movies. I could show
Yeah,
you.
I
I've
watched
seen
a
some-
boring
yeah.
vampire
I've
movie.
seen some
All
slow
got to
vampire
stop and
movies.
get into the codedness. It was because that same movie could have played out
and you could have had Leonardo DiCaprio playing the lead, and you could have had Mary Still the Same, and you could have had Roseanne Barr play Woomy, and you could have had all those things. And they would
Roseanne
have
Barr.
said,
Not Roseanne
Roseanne
Barr.
Barr.
Hold up.
At least
No.
Melissa McCarthy. No,
McCarthy.
bring
Ain't
Roseanne up
nobody
here.
other than
Let's bring Roseanne. Nah, fuck it. Let's bring Roseanne back.
you know,
Hell
a lot
no.
of times people don't like to listen to stories when it comes to Black Americans.
That's
They don't
very
like to listen
true.
to our
Very
stories
true.
because they think that those stories don't matter. But if it's a story about a gangster, a story about a teenage boy sitting in a tent and two twins come in and he stabs one of them, those are the types of stories that they look at us and think, oh well, that's what y'all do. But they
Yeah.
don't want to listen to the stories about, you've got a man who, two men that have fought in World War I, liberating people, and they come back home and they don't have any liberation for themselves. They don't want to listen to another kind of story like that. They don't want to have to listen to the story about two men who grew up as twins, and the father having an issue with one of the twins, and then the other twin has to unalive that twin. They don't want to listen to those types of stories. Because everybody's real keen about trying to figure out what happened with Al Capone and how they did all that stuff like that. They don't value our stories. They don't want to listen to those nuances. And like I said, the thing that got me is when they started talking about those wooden nickels and being paid with the plantation money and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that
That's
hit
a
me
real-
so. That's a real thing because my grandmother had money like that. That's a real thing. And I'm thinking, wow, okay. So my story, they don't want to listen to those types of things. Because I saw Tina shared a post about some guy talking about he didn't honor the Mexican people in the movie, and
But I felt bad for my SA homie, man. I'm like, hey, bro, this is 1932 Mississippi, bro.
yeah, but
like-
Tina made the best point. You had a whole
movie.
two funerals and a child
Right? Yeah.
that was on Mexican Mexican.
I like the way she
folklore.
broke that down too. We gave you the Mexican name, which whooped up on the black folks. You good?
Come on,
man.
ass up.
Exactly.
Y'all won.
We got beat with water balloons.
Hold
Water
your
balloons.
ass up.
You good?
And you mad? Talking about where
Yeah.
the Mexicans at? Just go
You
back
good,
and watch
brother.
y'all movie. That was y'all movie.
You
That
sure
was.
was.
It really
Ask
was.
Dr. Ask Dr. Umar.
That was
Unless-
y'all movie.
Like Water for Chocolate was done at the same time, but I didn't see none of my people in there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like,
Wait.
man, y'all got to feel this about 2 years ago when they did Wakanda Forever and they talked
Exactly.
about how in depth they went, and they went all the way over to the
Mhm.
Mayans, and they got Mayan rappers and all. Like, that was y'all shit. Now y'all mad because y'all not here.
Did they go get Mayan rappers?
Yes.
That's dope though. Salute to the Mayan
Yeah.
rappers.
Yeah,
They people
Was they rapping about like sacrifices and eating people's hearts and stuff?
I don't know. 'cause
Oh
I don't
my
know
God.
Mayan,
Wow.
so I don't know.
I
But I
think-
do
I-
know
bad.
that they went and found. They said it's only like a couple hundred people in the world that still speak that language, and they went to go find them. And yeah, so
That's dope.
I think
though.
for the
Nah,
people
salute
that
them.
are like, I think if you saw all the trailers, you were thinking that this is going to be like From Dusk Till Dawn, where
Yep.
it was like in the beginning, it was
Yep.
kind of like you got your little backstory, and then boom, 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 action.
The
That was not Sinners.
Yeah, but the only
No.
thing I see a lot of comparisons to Dust to Done. The only comparisons is Dust to Done was 2 movies in one, also, right? That's the only comparison
Yeah.
that I would give
Yeah.
Dust to Done and Sinners. It was 2 movies.
Dust Till Dawn is the same way. It starts out slow. 'Cause
Right.
You got to
Yeah.
learn about the
It's a
brothers
bank
first before
robbery.
they even get but bank
Yeah.
robbery. You learn about Dust Till Dawn was the same way, but basically Sinners had the same pacing as From Dust Till Dawn. We
the
had to
essay
learn
homie to
about
go
all
watch
the
this shit.
characters prior to ish hitting the fan.
Yeah, tell the essay homie to go watch Dust Till Done, man.
Yeah, can we get this one, man? Come on, man. Can we have this one?
He'd be-
See, the reason why, because I even said in my non-spoiler review, it is a slow burn. But one thing
Yeah.
about slow burns at the beginning, if there's really good acting, really good dialogue, you start to understand these characters before and Mika said this, and you guys said this earlier. You made me care about these characters way before everything kind of cracked off.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now I got the feels because I'm like, damn, I didn't want this character to die. Why is that character doing this and this
Right.
character is doing that? Now I'm invested because they took the time to flesh out the character and have you invested in the characters
Yeah.
before they take them, like you said, before they take them away from
Before
you.
they take 'em away
What's
from
wrong
you.
with that? What is
Yeah.
wrong with that? People
It's
are.
fakes, man. Marvel
No,
need to
I
think
think
about
we
that.
live in it. I
Fakes.
think we live in a
Exactly.
society now where it's just they want to get to the action real fast. Like I saw the trailer. Where's the vampires? And it's
Well,
like,
they
Right.
need to
bruh.
go watch. They need to go watch 90s, 80s and 90s
Yeah,
action
80s and
movies.
90s, right. They want some
I was
You,
action.
gonna
get,
say,
you
yeah.
can go to the 80s. You
There
can
you
get
go.
all the action.
You
No
get all of
dialogue,
it.
no plot, no
No
nothing.
plot.
Just
No
action.
nothing. Just a dude show up on the island with some guns and
Yeah.
just taking, you know what
I've been
I'm
on
saying?
I've been on my Michael Jai White tear, and all of his movies that it's just like
Simple plot.
simple plot. He shows up, his mama been terrorized, and then he terrorizing everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knocked down my mama's mailbox?
Right.
Kill the whole block. Whole block got to get it.
Well, brother Juma, what I mean about slow burn is that when you
Character
don't get to the main action within the first 15
30
to 20
minutes,
minutes,
First
you know,
act,
30,
like the
you know what I
first
mean?
act
The
was
first, yeah, the
all-
first act is set up. You know what I mean? Like I always say, the first act of any movie, it should be like this. Your first act is introducing the characters and why the character is so important. Then the character, something happens to the character where you feel bad about the character, and then third act is action or redemption. How does the character get out of whatever the second act was? How do they get out of that and become the hero at the end?
Right.
You know what I mean? No matter what, no matter what type of movie, that's kind of the formula that a lot of storyboards is written at or scripts. So in this, you get set up with every single character. You're introduced in a certain way.
Yeah.
And it stays on the beat. The emotional beat is stayed on certain characters for the right amount of time where you sitting there like, damn, like Delroy Lindo's character when he's in the car. You sit on that emotional beat. You just was laughing with this dude. You're drunk, But he has a story that a painful story that he's telling. Now you like, damn, I kind of understand why he drinks.
Right.
You get an understanding of each character. Same thing with Stack and Smoke. You get, and Mary. You get all of these intertwined. So when you get to the point where they're now being taken away from you, like, damn, I just spent an hour and a half on this movie, and now my man gone. What you doing? So that's what I like. And Mika, tell me this ain't Demon Knight. Tell me this ain't Demon Knight.
I was going to say a lot. If you watch a lot of horror movies, like I do,
horror do it
a
the best.
lot of horror movies are in the same format. Like
Yeah.
Demon Knight, they literally Demon Knight is a slow burn, and then when it hits the fan,
it
hits the fan and it starts going. So I mean, if you go back and watch a lot of movies do not get to the action, especially in horror, until it's like, hey, we need to learn about these characters first.
Yeah.
Right.
I got to make you like them because I'm about to take them
Somebody
away.
mentioned Fright Night. Fright Night is a prime example. We
Fright
learned
Night,
about
Oh, I
Charlie,
love Fright
we
Night.
learned about-
Love
Fright
Fright
Night
Night.
is my movie.
Like we have, like I said,
You gotta have faith.
Oh my god. I think like now we live in this microwave society where it's like, ding, I want it now. As soon as I sit down in this chair, give me the action because I saw the trailer. I know what's about to happen. I know what's gonna pop off. Give it to me now. And it's like, no, boo. Like there's a story behind this. Like we can't just give you all the action.
I'm
like
telling
on
you.
rip.
Walking in the centers, I'm watching it. I forgot vampires was even gonna show up.
Me too.
Me too.
I
I
forgot too.
I didn't even care until he fell out the sky. I was like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah. We started sizzling like bacon. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. Vampires are in
That's
this.
right. This is a vampire
Because
movie.
I was excited when Smoke shot them two for stealing off that truck. I was like, oh, here we go. I forgot about man. I was like, oh, he
remember we was getting
I
like
thought Smoke
Malcolm
was
X
gonna
and
take
all of
20
them.
and 50 mile out.
Yeah, remember we was getting all the movies like that. Malcolm X. We got, I'm like, this is like a documentary almost. You know what I'm saying? Like a biopic. This is the Smoke Twins, Smoke and Stack Twins biopic movie we were watching.
In them. I was like, shoot, I want to know what happened in Chicago.
Right,
exactly.
Then he fell out the sky. What?
If y'all go back and watch my video from like 9 months ago, I had the whole plot leak, so I knew what was gonna happen in the movie.
I can't see how you do them.
I still went to the movies because I went
forgot.
Monday. I went to the Atlanta screening, and I still was just Like, what the hell going on? Like, I knew what was gonna happen, but like for the first hour, I'm still just like, where the vampires at? Now, and listen, the person who told me what this movie about literally said it's not a lot of vampires in the movie, but still in my mind, I'm looking at the trailers and I'm like, no, it's vampires in this movie. So for the first hour, I was just like, it's really no, where the fuck are the vampires? But after I went to a second viewing, it felt a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, okay, now I see they are really building a world to get you invested into these characters. So when everything does show up, you care about everybody. So yeah. So I took it up a half a point after I watched it a second time. I'm like, I get 8.5.
But see, that's the thing. How many times have you watched something and there's no world building?
Right.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's no character development. There's no world building. Where are we at? Why is this happening? Why should I care? Is the question that you're asking. I didn't have to ask any of those in this movie. You know what I mean? And the way that it kicked off, I was immediately like, because you see it, and I'm not gonna lie, I was with you, Mika. I'm sitting there and like, I'm like, the jump scare and the little creature in the back, and like, and I'm like, oh, what's this mess? What am I watching? And then it just goes, and I'm like, and then it loops because the end is at the end is the beginning. You know what I mean? And you understand why his daddy was saying the things that he had. The guitar, the significance of the guitar being their his father's brother's guitar that his cousin had to kill.
Yeah.
That, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just so much into that. You know what I mean? That again, I think there's more. I would like this. I want this to be a one and done, honestly.
Oh nah.
But
if this movie make money, look, his deal is a universe.
The only reason why I want this to be a one and done because I want it to have the significance as like Get Out. You know what I'm saying? Nope. You know what I'm saying? With like Jordan Peele does.
I feel you.
So you have a moment in time.
I think it should be the universe. Like Sinners happened in 1930. We don't have to hear from Stack and Mary anymore, right?
Yeah, create a universe. You're talking about create a universe.
Kind of like what Stephen King did with It and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like
with everything being connected around that.
Everything
happens
in Maine.
Yeah, everything happens. So everything can happen in Mississippi if they wanted to go that route.
I'm
not even invested or worried about what's going on with Mary and Stack. Them going forward in the 90s, because you know, I'm sorry, Michael B. Jordan, but that wig was horrible. But anyway,
he had a Tyler Perry. He went to the Tyler Perry wig.
The only thing that I'm invested
in, the TP wig shop.
The TP wig shop.
The only thing that I am invested in, because going forward, I'm not going to invest it because I know that Sammy in 1992, probably before 1995, he probably will be off the earth. I'm not invested in that. I'm invested in and honestly, I may not be as much invested in Smoke and Stack and their adventures in Chicago. What I'm invested in is the fact that I want to know, they talk about their father as being evil, and this guitar seems to be present in all of this stuff. I'm interested in, did the guitar have some kind of powers, or was it made out of some kind of metal or something? It was made out of anamantium, and that anamantium can
not that American
anamantium. That was some vibranium guitar playing.
Not the
vibranium.
Because you know the thing that got me is that here is this father who is a preacher. You know, and like I said,
he did not like that guitar.
He didn't like that the guitar. He didn't like that guitar.
Because of the brother, though. Yeah, because of the brother, because it was his brother's guitar who was bad.
And so I'm wondering, I want to go back to see how, if their father was a musician, and you notice that neither Snack, Lord have mercy,
That's what you were thinking. That's what you were thinking about Michael B. Jordan.
Stack and Smoke, they got no musical ability, and if they did get any musical ability, they suppressed it. But I am curious. I'm curious as to this father. Did he dance with the devil? What was going on with this daughter, this father? That's what interested me, and we can keep it in Clarksdale, Mississippi. And that could be, you know, like Blue said, just keep it in Mississippi. That's the story that I'm interested in. I mean, we could figure out the fact that they robbed, like I said, they robbed the people and all that other stuff. But I'd be interested in to see these two brothers deciding to go to war than to be a sharecropper. I would love to see what those dynamics were. That's more interesting to me than them being in Chicago, than Mary and Stack running around the world together, because they couldn't be together in life, but they can be together in death.
With it? Do you keep a supernatural vibe?
I feel like there's some
With
kind
the
of
guitar?
supernatural with the guitar, or with something within their family. There's a supernatural type situation.
I got something. What if Remy or Rimmer? Remick. What if he got to their father beforehand, and he was just looping back to come back and get the one with the musical talent? That's the reason why, the evil came in. You know what I mean? Because obviously it was Staxnum's daddy's guitar, so that means he was playing before. Remy could have came and visited him a long time ago when he was younger, and couldn't get him then. You know what I mean? Or a Remick type of character before it went to Remick. You know what I mean? Somebody else that tried to get him.
And that's why the uncle is a preacher to this day, because they saw something simple, supernatural, or something was going on. And the father probably stopped singing, and then he was pissed off because he stopped singing, and he took it out on his children. I don't know.
Not Dre and Pam, not that y'all say that. Was it the guitar that broke the veil? Or was it just his singing? Was it him playing the guitar and sing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it was both.
I think it was both. I think it was both.
Singing, though. It's singing, boy. I wish I just had his deep voice. You'll get them all.
I think it was a combination of both.
That here with the quiet storm voice. Tell you.
So according to the news clip from Spotify, the news clip is from August the 1st, 1911.
Okay.
Yeah.
When the ship,
when
Remick shows up.
So 21 years before years prior.
Does the ship land? Where did the ship land?
Chicago? It says no, in
Boston.
Boston. Yeah, Boston.
Which would make sense because the Irish, there's a big Irish community in Massachusetts anyway.
Right.
It says, as the workers approached, a local woman claimed to have seen a lone man fleeing the scene, his skin reportedly smoking as he disappeared into the shadows.
That man is over there Canadian bacon. God,
I'm just saying, he's a bold vampire to be running during
turkey
the
bacon. Yeah. Over there steak sizzling.
Wow.
Pam asked about the budget. Where do y'all think they spent $90 million on? I wish he would have took 50. Where did he spend $90 million?
That's a good question.
I don't.
CGI.
Where? What CGI?
The CGI with Ryan Cougar. Michael B. Jordan.
On the screen at the same time, y'all.
That ain't
look.
That ain't 30 minutes. Right. I can do that in cap. Yeah, that ain't 30 million worth.
I ain't gonna lie. There were scenes in there I forgot.
Also to film it in IMAX.
That's what he shouldn't have done.
Oh yeah, filming in IMAX.
To film it in IMAX in 70 millimeter, like in order to
he wanted to be a cinema nerd and film it in IMAX.
Yeah, you might have shouldn't did that, bro. Like you
wait a minute. Whatchamacallit films at IMAX all the time?
He did a specific
the one
IMAX.
who does Terminator.
No, he did it in a specific
James Cameron films in whatever the hell he feels, because he is the tip of the spear when it comes to doing that.
Yeah,
they follow what he does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he normally films at IMAX.
Everybody else does.
But Brian Cougar had a special camera, and you could only see it in certain theaters. Like I was like, wait a minute, dog. I'm not driving 5 hours to go see no damn movie.
That could be the money. I don't know. The IMAX could be.
Bruh, he should have.
Some of the cameras cost some money, so that I do know.
Should have threw them cameras in that trash can and took that 50-60, and we could have been smoking today, y'all. We could have been on it today. God,
I think with that, I think people have had. I think it's the type of deal that he had, because now they're mad at Warner Brothers because they're going to offer him the rights back to that movie in 25 years.
25 years.
I think
because they didn't believe in it.
Exactly.
Well, not only that. He gets first rights on top of the box office.
Yep, on the box office.
Yep. Usually, when RDJ did his deal, he gets a percentage of the box office on the back end. Once it's reached profitable, he has a front end deal.
Yep. So he see the money for the studio. See it.
Yeah, he making bread right now. They mad at that.
Damn.
But
I wish he would have took less. This one's gonna be a tough one. This is gonna be a tough one.
You talking about tough to make the money up?
I don't think so.
I mean, they already domestically at 63 million. I mean, I'm domestically.
What they got to hit
total
one?
at 63
What they got to hit?
million.
135.
150.
No, it was
150?
90. This is a $90 million movie.
But they said
No,
it was
he's talking
100.
about
I
the
just read the
money they already
variety
made.
So
article.
they got to hit 200.
Yeah.
210.
Hold up, I
210.
just had that
Because
deadline.
remember, we
article.
talked about this. I was like, y'all,
Yeah.
I was like,
I
I
think
was
you
like,
get,
Get
the
Out
210.
only hit 255.
I
Get
think
Out
they
only
get that.
hit
They say it's on the same trajectory as that though. That's what they saying. So I think it'll get that.
If we
Yeah.
we
They
stick into
claim that
the-
it's going to gross between 170 to 185. It needs to gross to 170 to 185 to break even. But right now they are saying that it's going to make at least 200 to 225 million.
And do they have the China market? Because I know with your
Yep.
No.
Oh,
stupid ass
I
president.
mean, they gonna get it, but they ain't going to watch that. That's another thing. The international market is gonna be.
so the international market right now, the biggest turnout was in the United Kingdom with 3.2
Yeah.
million, followed by France with 2 million, and Mexico with 1.1 million. While my man over there talking shit, Mexico was like, I'll throw a meal up in there. The Mexicans
Mexico
showed
talking
up.
Hey
Yeah.
Holmes, bring us a Vesa, Holmes. We finna watch this.
So,
But yeah,
2
for
million-
it to be an original movie, that is an impressive opening. I just wish you would have took a little bit less. Just shave some off the top for the
Well,
team. Shave some
My
off
brothers
the top.
don't give a
Maybe-
damn. They like,
well,
we
you
got
know,
one
Maybe he
China-
got,
China
maybe he got
beef
some
right
tax
now.
credits to shoot in Mississippi, man.
I mean, yeah, they shot in New
in
Orleans.
Louisiana.
They got tax credits for sure.
Oh, yeah, they most definitely got tax
Yeah.
credits.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if we're gonna compare it to all the other movies, we either got to start including the credits or taking the credits out. But yeah,
Right. Yeah.
I think they definitely got tax credits in Louisiana for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep, yep.
I think that just the how they shot the movie and stuff like that. I think that's where a
That's
lot
where
of
it
the
went.
budget was. That's where
He
it went.
wanted to be a
And
cinema nerd.
their media, their press rollout was on par with like they did with Marvel. So I think a lot of that
Yeah.
went. So
That's
I
probably
think
where a
that's,
lot of it went.
Mhm.
was the
Well,
press
when
rollout.
you think about their press, it wasn't like exactly like Marvel because all they did was they was flying them out everywhere. But Marvel be having like cereal and posters
Yeah,
and
yeah.
ads, so it's not
Oh, so they can make
quite
the
on that
marketing,
level.
so they can make the money back on merch. That's one
Yeah,
of the
yeah, yeah,
reasons
yeah,
why
yeah.
they do that.
Mhm.
Because a
And
lot
he
of-
has
oh,
a
I'm sorry.
merch deal. He has a merch deal, but he not pushing the merch. I'm like, bro, I want a
Kid-
center shirt.
Yeah.
Okay, can you guys see this as a actual like comic book though, like
Yeah. I mean,
or a
this
graphic
is-
novel, like a
it's
graphic
on the
novel?
lines. You ever read Bitterroot?
Yeah, I heard of that.
Yeah,
I
it's
heard. I
on the
never
lines
read
of
it, but I heard of
Bitterroot.
that.
It's another.
I don't
it's
have a
another
local
black
comic
one.
shop no more.
Shit,
so
Harriet Tubman, Demon Hunter.
Tubman, Demon Hunter. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Mika's
His
favorite comic.
his deal is all encompassing. Like if you can, I remember when it dropped like a couple months ago. It's like merch, a universe possibly, and then of course the reversion of the rights. But yeah, he has an all encompassing. He can do what he want. He got a little merch out, but I wish it was more like.
Yeah, everywhere.
I wish it was cuter.
Mhm.
I mean,
But
they
he-
ain't gonna be having no toys out. You know what I'm saying? I
He
mean,
has
he
a
could
toy
do a thing
deal.
with NECA. He could do a thing with NECA though, because NECA does do a lot of horror theme figures. So I could.
You should sell that
see-
guitar, replica guitar.
So
That
most
replica guitar would be dope though.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna hold you.
most of the budget went to 67.6 million went to On Location in Louisiana.
They got a
Bruh,
tax
nah,
credit.
bruh.
They got a tax.
But
credit.
they also
got a tax
use
credit.
two different they use two different type of cameras. One to film in IMAX, and then the other one to film in ultra Panavision. That's why the
Yeah.
scenes, if you watch during the
Yeah.
movie, the
Yeah.
scenes
They shift.
will go in
Yeah.
IMAX, and then it'll go
Mhm.
right. It'll go back.
I didn't get to. I said it in standard. Matter of fact, I was mad at my movie theater
I was
because
in
they had
the
the
poor
buzz.
man's theater.
Look, hold up, wait a minute. I'm in a regular theater, and you hear that feedback buzz, like, I'm like,
Yeah, you was in the poor man's theater.
Well,
I'm in the
that's the
rich
same thing.
neighborhood. That's what
Drake, you was in Coke.
hold on, wait a minute. I'm
Drake
in
was
the
in
rich
Coke.
neighborhood, but with the black movie, we gotta have a buzz in it. Oh, okay. I see how you do it. I see
Well,
how
that's
you
the
do
same
it.
thing in my theater because I paid. I went to the theater all happy to
Pam
go
was
to
mad
see
about
this.
it.
Baby, you talking about hot? I went there and they done canceled my movie. What you mean you canceled it? Oh, well, something happened with the IMAX. Oh, something happened to IMAX, but I see Kings of Kings over here playing like it ain't nothing. I hear it all out the door. And what is
Pam
going
was
on?
mad.
And I'm having to sit in a little digital movie, look like they ain't cleaned that movie theater since COVID protocol.
Thank you. Thank you, Pam.
Sitting in Coke.
What
Sitting in
is
Coke.
going on?
Yeah,
Look like
basically,
people
we
are
went
knocked
we
the
went
wo-
straight
I
to
was
Coke.
pissed.
And when we gonna get the recliner seats in IMAX, y'all?
Oh, that's why I don't go to
Yeah.
IMAX
Listen,
movies.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I don't go to them.
Yeah.
I don't go to them.
What's the one AMC? Don't they got? It's Dolby Digital and IMAX, right?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I go to
I do
Dolby. I don't
Yeah, I
go
do
to
the Dolby.
IMAX.
I don't do the
movies.
IMAX because IMAX. You're right. They don't have the recliner. Shit, I'll do the coach. Shit, the coach had a reclining seat. Now some seats don't work. Be sticky and shit. You know what
Shout
I'm
out to the
saying?
people that saw it in 40X though. Like I was
Yeah,
like, wow,
yeah.
Yeah,
you better than me.
I've only seen one movie in 40X, and that was Endgame. I would never do that again.
You better than me.
Never do that again. I had the wind blowing in my eye and all that. Oh no, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to be on a roller coaster because I thought I was close because it was packed. So I was never again. Nope, I'm good.
Yeah. I saw it in
good.
Dolby and IMAX. Now, I liked
I
it
saw
better
them both,
personally
too.
in Dolby because
Me
I'm
too.
just a sound person. I rather
Yeah.
hear it. I want to hear what's going on. But yeah.
Dolby was nice. Dolby was nice.
Well,
Yeah, I saw it.
I'm
I saw
glad
it in
y'all
both.
saw it, and I'm going to see it because I want to be able to see because his little what was that 10 to 15 minute video
His
talking about how.
explanation.
Yes, honey. That I didn't know nothing what was going on, but I was like, oh, I got to see it in that. And then when I get to the theater and they done did all that stuff, when I tell you I was hot, I was hot.
Yo, I know.
I
know.
expecting-
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Pam. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just telling you I was hot because I had the seat. I wouldn't got the right seat. I was ready. I had my
Snacks and everything.
popcorn, snacks and everything because I was ready because I was like, yeah, it's gonna be real immersive. And when she scanned my ticket, I was like, damn, did my check, did my stuff bounce? Because you feel all, I
Said, "Did
feel
my
all
check bounce?"
emasculated. I
Like
feel all
had a
emasculated.
couple in front of me.
Yeah, because people are behind me. It's a packed theater. And then
Yeah.
she's checking my thing and it's like, oh, it's not doing. I said, what you mean it ain't doing it? My eyes are going this way, back and forth in my head. And then they go, oh, we had
Your
to
card
cancel."
declined, ma'am. They like to yell it out loud and say, "Your card declined, ma'am."
And she's like, you've got to, but she said, you got to go up there and see what's going on. And I go up there and they're like,
man.
oh, the IMAX theater, the film is not working. We've called somebody for it to work. And here I am. But Kings of Kings in there playing great. And so she's like, well, you got to get the
Oh,
3
bobblehead Jesus.
You got to get the
do that.
digital. And babe, I was so upset. I was just sitting here and I walked in there and like I said, when I walked in, there was like 2 or 3 people sitting in there. And then when I look, there's plastic on the seat. And I'm like, they ain't cleaned this since the COVID protocols. I mean, they didn't even use this. I mean, I'm fussing, and then I'm like, Pam, stop. I'm telling y'all, I was hot. I was so hot because I had the same problem with Magazine Dreams. I went to go, and they hadn't even had the film in the theater. So here I am in the matinee, and then they're like, I'm sitting in the matinee, and nothing is turning on. And then I go out there. I said, well, they hadn't started the movie yet. And then here comes the manager. Oh, well, we don't have the film right now, and you can come back at 8:00.
Why was they advertising the movie to start at a certain time? That's crazy. And took your money and had you sit up in that theater.
Sit up in there, because I sat in there.
I would have let Remick in on all of them.
You need to go get them. You need to go get them.
And so
Hey,
I was just
Morris.
like, I just said I gotta go. My favorite theater is no longer my favorite theater. Third time won't be the charm for me. I'm just gonna
don't
go
let them
over
get
here.
you 3 times, Pam. Don't let them get you 3
Mm-mm.
times. Nah, don't do that. But I'm happy.
Look.
I'm glad everybody likes it. I'm so happy that I felt like he handled all of the characters well. You know what I'm saying? Nobody felt like they were kind of just like shooting. Everybody seems like, they had their own particular roles, but yeah, I'm happy for
They
them.
all showed up for this movie. They all
Yeah.
showed up.
They all
Nobody
showed
phoned
up.
nothing in. Everybody showed
Yeah.
up.
But to answer Lauren's question, I will have a cornbread popcorn bucket.
Oh yeah, you gotta go to Regal, the Regal Cinema to get the Center's popcorn buckets.
What
Is
was
there
it?
a Regal?
Was it
They
just
actually had one?
Yeah, Regal Cinema has the Center's popcorn buckets. I've been going to AMC. so.
Yeah, all I go is AMC.
Yeah, I
don't have a
go,
Regals near me.
Yeah, I don't have a Regals. I go to B&B. And then there's AMC, which remember I said I went to go see Magazine Dreams. I bought all those tickets. Some people didn't show up, so they gave me these passes. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all what the devil be doing when you try to be right, and the devil be doing. Why these passes said they expired 9/30/24? And then I called AMC to be like, "Hey, y'all gave me some old ass tickets. Why don't I answer the dang on?"
Send
So I'm
Remick in
telling
there,
y'all.
man. Remick my sniper. From now on, I'm sending Remick on everybody who did me wrong. man.
I'm sending
Can
Remick
we
on
have
all
a
y'all,
moment?
you know,
I'm
the
gonna
cases
steal-
on all y'all.
Oh y'all.
Can we have a moment of silence for Delta Slim because he went out like a G?
Oh yeah.
Can we have a
Delta
moment?
Sim did.
He went
Delta
out
Sim
like
cut his wrist, so he died before he get
Before-
turned.
yep. Mhm.
I actually like that.
He didn't cut his wrist. He cut right here.
But he cut an artery.
He cut in his upper arm to draw all the vampires to him. So he
I
actually
thought he
didn't
cut- I
die.
thought he was trying to-
He died in pain.
And and because I'm a nitpicker on like especially vampire movies, I don't understand why did they all just run out? Like right before he cut himself, they kill Annie, and Michael B. Jordan picked up Haley Steinfeld was like, let's go. I'm like, what the fuck kind of vampires leave the scene? What the hell going on? So I didn't understand that.
Well, she kind of explained they still had their
He
soul.
explained it at the end.
Yeah, they still had their souls.
They
So
still
they
had
were
their
like
soul.
they were still partially human.
Yeah.
Well, what would
So
they
they-
run? Why would they leave? You know what I'm saying?
Because at this point, Annie's gone
Mhm.
now.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know where. Well, he had to get Mary up out of there. I think
Why,
that's what
though?
Stack was doing. I think Stack went to get Mary up out of there because he was like, shit, like the plan fell through. Annie ain't with us no
Okay.
more. And so now, so that's why he came back and he was pissed. And he was like,
Oh, that was the funniest shit in the whole movie. He said, "Why you don't go ahead and do that to Annie?"
right. because Annie figured it out. Annie figured it out, and I think Stack heard her when she said, "If you hurt Remick, it hurts them all."
Hurts
And
everybody.
so Stack was like, "I got to get Mary out of here."
Yeah.
And then and obviously he went back for Smoke because he was I ain't doing this without my brother, but he was pissed. Like, I'm trying to make one big happy family. And you done killed Annie.
And you said that weird when Remick took the silver to the head and they was all sitting there holding their heads.
Yeah.
Scene.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so fascinated about this guitar, because when I looked at it, I was like, "That's an unusual looking guitar." Maybe their daddy was maybe he was a vampire slayer.
Yeah.
Hey, now
Nah,
wouldn't that
nigga
be
was
dope?
a drunk, angry man. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like why.
That's why he was drunk and angry.
He had to go kill vampire. Hey, now would y'all watch that? Would you watch a prequel about
I would
his
watch a
daddy?
prequel about anything. I would watch a prequel on Annie and Smoke having to deal with
Having a baby.
postpartum. I would watch a prequel about anything.
Yeah. Just make it. Tina say just make it. I'm there.
Just Ryan Coogler there. I'm there. I'm there.
Not to get away from Sinners. Ryan Coogler put out, they talking X-Files now.
Mm-hmm.
Are we here for that? And how long would that take? Because I'm trying my best to give him stuff to do to keep him away from
Don't touch it. you think Ryan Coogler gonna do what Jordan Peele did with the Twilight Zone?
I hope.
See?
Okay. Why you?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you think, now that we all seen Sinners, do you think Ryan Coogler should have been the one that took off Blade?
No.
No.
Because this ain't a vampire movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he would have done a good job with it, but I think I think his whole point of doing this movie is
to
I
get away
came
from that.
in. Well, pretty much. Look, I came
To get
in as a young director. What they paid him for Black Panther 1? Maybe $500,000, maybe $1
Something.
million, maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
Mika's on the Googles.
Look, he probably ain't get paid nothing really. So he looking like, damn, I just made
I'm about
this
to look it up.
company. I made this company $1 billion.
Mhm.
I did Creed, and now Sylvester Stallone walking around mad talking about,
Yep.
you know,
I want
I'm
my
not
movie
y'all,
back.
y'all down making damn sequels, and I'm not getting no money. So he probably
Mhm.
like, bro, I have got to own my own IP.
All my stuff.
'Cause
Yeah.
that's where
Yeah.
the money is.
Mhm.
Production company. So I think it's interesting what's gonna happen with him and Disney. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen. He
I
either
would love
gonna
him
come.
to just walk away.
He either gonna come lay his nuts on the table and say, gimme, or he gonna say, hey, you know, I'm gonna go over here and handle my
But
own
he would.
universe.
But ooh, I mean, I know he got. You know, I know he signed on for the three movies with Disney. What you saying? Laying your nuts on the table. Would that make Disney say, you can go ahead and walk because we just
it
gonna go get.
depends. It depends because now put yourself in Disney's shoes because of course he's gonna do X-Files, Black Panther 3. Deal is up.
Mm.
If
Yeah,
I'm
that's
Disney,
his last movie.
if I'm Disney, I want him. Like who wouldn't want him? Who wouldn't
Do
want
they
him?
want him? I don't know if they want
I
him.
mean, but look at it like this: every movie that he has made, whether you like him or not,
yeah, he'll win.
has
He wins.
been
He's a win. So that's what I'm
successful.
saying.
Yeah,
But,
he'll
like,
win. But I just
they
don't
gonna
trust.
want
I
him?
don't think Disney care about Feige. Them. I told you, man. He a big fraud. I think he a big fraud. I think the whole Disney Marvel situation is about to come collapsing down because they don't really have the foundation
forgot
to stand
on
up.
Ironheart.
Is he part of Ironheart?
yeah, his
Yeah,
production
he's
company
executive-
did
He
it.
producing that, huh?
But he's
Mhm.
Would that
producing
count
it.
as-
He's not directing.
He's not
He's
directing.
executive
Yeah,
producing
yeah.
it.
But
I
that's
think if
considered
he-
one of his projects though. That and Eyes of Wakanda. Even though he's not
Yeah.
directing it, it's
It's
part
still
of
here.
his
Yeah,
project.
yeah.
I think if he sits down, you know, pops his beer and looks around and see what people are going. I think if he leans into this Afrofuturism and these and black people in space,
Mhm.
I think that he will. That's that genre that I think a lot of people would want to
Yeah.
lean into. I think if
He can
could
tell his
pull-
bastard stories in space. All his movies is
Right.
bastards, by the way.
Well, that's what's gonna happen with Blade.
My bad. My bad.
Blade is gonna have a child, and
Well, he already got one. He got a daughter.
well, there
That's
you
why he
go.
couldn't do Blade because he would have had to kill Blade off and make the girl a bastard, and that's why he couldn't do it.
Okay.
Kugler is the best. He the man though. I'm just look, Aisha, mad. All his movies deal with bastards. Do they not? Am I wrong?
Who
Kill 'em all,
said
they bastards.
smoking? Who said smoke them as bastards?
They killed their daddy, which makes them bastards.
How? What is
He-
your
no,
definition
ain't
of
got
a
no
bastard?
Yeah, I'm about
That
to
makes
say.
them
I don't.
orphans. It makes
That
them
makes them orphans, not a
my bad.
bastard.
Not a bastard.
Yeah, not a bastard.
Orphans.
Bastard
Not
adjacent.
bastard
My bad.
adjacent.
They ain't had no
Daddy gotta
mama neither.
leave for them to be bastards.
Exactly.
Bastard adjacent.
He left all
my
right.
bad. My
He
bad.
left all right.
Their daddy was in their life.
Yeah, they
right.
got look. They had a mama and daddy. Now I ain't bastard. Sammy got a mama and daddy. He ain't no
Bastard
bastard.
adjacent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
My
Aisha
bad.
said
My
Jon
bad.
Snow.
You right. Jon Snow was a bastard.
Jon
He
Snow was a bastard.
He was.
Look, and he technically ain't no bastard, but that.
Oh
that
my
mess-
gosh.
That
Could
mess,
we get a Game of Thrones, House of Dragons type movie with black folks? Blue can play in it because he's already a Targaryen. Oh my god! That would be dope.
look that
And
that
they
he
all
has
flying
going
from
on
Africa.
in Warner Brothers ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna work over there. That ain't gonna work.
What a
It's
Game of
not.
Thrones over at Warner Brothers type situation?
No, Ryan Coogler and Warner Brothers ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. It's
You
not
don't
gonna
think
work.
it's gonna
over there.
work?
No. Mm-mm.
They ain't got the money.
I just don't think they have a good environment for creatives. Everybody
I don't know.
talks.
I mean,
That's
they
the
did
same
Nolan
everybody-
good. They did
Well,
Nolan
they
good
got
until
rid. They
COVID.
got rid of everybody at Warner Brothers.
Yeah, they don't have a go-to
Yeah.
guy right now. Who's they go-to
Yeah, they
guy?
got rid of everybody. When Time
Once
Warner, when
Nolan
they
left,
did that
that was
merger,
it.
yeah, when they did that merger with Time Warner Cable and they fired everybody. The
Right.
Asian dude who was just
The
doing
on-
shit,
Mhm.
they
The
got
only
rid of
person they got left
everybody.
is Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood over there. He the last bastion.
Are y'all talking about creatives or are y'all talking about executives?
The
Creators. I'm
executive,
talking
they
creators,
got rid of,
director, create. That's
they
what I'm
got
talking
rid
about.
of
I don't know
that
what Gray talking
whole.
about.
They got rid
I'm
of.
talking creators.
But no, what I'm talking about when they did the merger,
Yeah.
they literally gutted everything. That's the reason why Safran and Gunn
Yeah.
and all of
Yeah.
that, they gutted that whole entire thing and tried to start all the way over. So
Yeah.
as far as the
Mhm.
executive level, the studio level, who they got pointing this that, and the other, a lot of them got cut. You know what I mean?
I don't
Especially after-
know. My folks over at Game of Thrones is not feeling that shit. They don't like what the hell they got going on over there.
because they used to the old regime.
Where they going? They are owned by
No,
one.
I ain't
Where
saying
they going?
they got anywhere to go. I'm just saying, like, I talk shit about Disney, but I still think Disney is like the best company to work for. We gonna sit on this. We'll come back.
Not according to Bo.
Bo commented on my thing today, but you see, he was talking in. I want to say, Bo, shut up. I just want to you.
He don't
Bo,
follow me, so I don't know.
Listen,
I don't pay no
Bo,
attention.
Bo is my friend, but I told
He
Bo,
is.
I said, Bo, if I end up in fucking court and subpoenaed because you keep talking to me online, we gonna have
He be hitting
Problems.
your ass. Every time I go to Twitter, he hit you. He responded to your stuff. He was
On
like,
the
"Child, let's talk off."
phone.
Yeah, he said, "Child, let's talk offline."
No, yeah, stop. Because for real, they be seeing that shit. I'm gonna end up subpoena when they go to court in October. Well, tell us what you know. I don't know nothing.
Subpoena me because I'm gonna talk.
Hey, wait a minute. You gonna be dude on Transformers? He did it. He did it.
I'm like, Bo, stop. Don't
Look,
Subpoena me
look.
if you want to. I'm just gonna tell him Bo need to keep them titties in his shirt. That's all I want to.
Hold on, wait a minute, Tina. I'm going on X because I go on X just to look for stories and see what y'all talking
Yeah.
about. Bo got a whole thread with you that he keeps talking it. I know
do.
you. You was like, hey, let's talk about that later. He gives a long thread.
He was
like, hey,
he was
like, ooh,
requoting all
child.
your stuff, retweeting all your stuff with the quote.
I'm like, oh my God.
I don't want to be in court. I don't want to be in court. I don't want
But
to
now,
play in
I
court.
think Warner Brothers would be a good situation for them because they don't have their, like I said, Christopher Nolan was their big star over there as far as directors.
Oh.
What
So
they
Tina-
do got they
hold
got
up.
the new what's his name who do Doom. They do have him still.
Villanueva.
Yeah, Dennis Villanueva. They
Yeah.
do have him, but they don't have a lot over there. So
Yeah.
what's
Hold
up,
on.
Dre?
I do want to get I want to get Tina in here because she did get to talk to Buddy Guy and she talked to him about the movie. So I did want to get her just in here to talk real quickly about her experience talking to talking with Buddy Guy and all that. I didn't know that was Shauna's daddy. Did not know that until somebody tweeted it on X. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? That's a
Yeah.
She talk about it all the time. Like when she first got signed, she always talked about it.
did I
Who
wasn't
that?
paying no attention?
Shauna the rapper.
BTP, Ludacris.
Yeah, I wasn't paying her that much attention. You know what I mean? But not to the point where I knew that was it. But Tina, if you see this, go click the link because I want to get you in here because I want to hear your story about Buddy Guy. I'm
Who
sorry.
that is? Who again? I'm sorry.
Google Shauna.
Buddy Guy.
Shauna.
Buddy Guy.
The one who played
Sammy at the end.
trailer.
Older
him
Sammy.
trailer. Look, I'm excited for him too.
I'm excited for that too. A lot of people, I seen somebody was like, another light-skinned black man gotta be the lead in this movie. I'm like, if you don't lead Patrick, he's black. He's mixed.
Light skin.
The dude who's playing the
Tyreek
quarterback in the
Withers?
movie. Yes, he's
him.
mixed.
And him.
So if you ever seen him at ATL, he was in the episode of ATL where his daddy is black because I had to go look him up, and he was on the Country Wayne skits.
He
But I
reminded
had
me
to
of
look him up.
them two
I had to
brothers
look
who
him
do
up.
the football skits. That's what he reminded me of.
Yeah, but I had to look him up because he was on the episode of ATL with Kevin Samuels. He was on the episode of ATL. Yeah, his daddy black. He's mixed. He's very much mixed. He's Patrick Mahomes. Patrick LeBron Mahomes.
Can I ask you, what did y'all get from that trailer? That trailer, like, I didn't get nothing from it.
Do you ever get anything from Jordan Peele trailers?
I mean, when I say I didn't get nothing from it, it was like somebody went into Mario Paint and just started throwing stuff. What I got from, like, what is going on in this trailer, man?
Not Mario Paint, bro. Mario Paint.
I'm excited for him. I'm excited.
I'm very
I'm
excited.
down.
For one, that brother getting that lead role in the movie.
who's
Marlon.
directing?
Jordan-
Some
It's not
Tipping,
Jordan Peele.
Is it
Tipping,
Jordan Peele?
Tipping.
No, it's not.
His last name is Tipping.
Tipping. That's one thing I like about Jordan Peele. I told Tyler Perry, you need to look at what Jordan Peele over there doing. He let the people come in and direct
I think
and write. And do
what
other
I
stuff.
got from it, what I really got from it is the price of fame. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Especially NFL players. Especially I've been around so many NFL players before in my life, especially being in Kansas City. You see them everywhere. Some of them would do any. As a matter of fact, you see any given Sunday.
Yeah.
Hey, for $1 million, you can shoot me with that shit that's gonna make me paralyzed
Yeah.
from the
Come
waist
on,
down.
baby.
You know what I mean? Come on, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot me up, baby.
I just need a shot.
He said, I
So
just need one more sack to get my
Get that bonus.
get that bonus. Come on, baby, shoot me up.
he said, yeah, he failed the black test on Atlanta. Lapping off for Kevin Smith, George Wallace. Yeah, that episode is good too. George Wallace man, he rolling.
George Wallace is tall as shit. I did the show he got out now with what's her name from Orange is the New Black. I did some background in that. They shot it in Savannah. I said, George, I did not know George Wallace was that there. And all he joked 24. He don't turn off. He did not turn off. 24/7 he joke.
I would love to see him. I know he does Vegas every year and gets paid doing Vegas. So I would love one year to go out to Vegas just to see George Wallace do George Wallace shit. You know, so he was fun. What was it? The wash.
Yeah.
He was like, steal it. Let's run it back now. Steal it. One more time now. He said, wax goes on the car, not the gas pedal. Or push him on the gas pedal. And now they suing me.
Look, where is my good light skinned brother Chill at? That's who I need to. I need to hear Chill's take.
You don't need to hear Chill.
Oh, Chill. Oh, you got it. Hey, look.
You don't need to hear Chill.
Hold up, wait a minute. I'm watching his Ayanu.
Ayanu.
I'm watching him do episode 4. I'm driving in the car, and he was like, "Yeah, something Blue don't know about." I'm like, "Damn!" I'm like, "Damn!" I'm over here enjoying it. Blue just called a straight guy.
Me and Chill, I was going at it, man.
I don't know what you did to old light skin Chill, but he popped you, and you wasn't even. I'm talking about. I was like, Ricky, he got you.
Man, we did episodes 1 through 3 together, but
Chill is funny, man.
Chill gets culture shocked when he sees a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Which a lot of the stuff that he gets excited or, you know what I'm saying, is new to him. You know what I'm saying? Tina can attest. Tina be tearing Chill up too. He just scared of Tina. He's scared of Tina. Tina tearing his ass up too.
He said he was tight last show. I must have been at work. I had to be at work.
I'd be like, Tina, Blue, let the boy breathe. Let him breathe. Please let him breathe.
Listen. If I don't know if we start talking about Canadian stuff, I'm like, okay, I don't know. But Chill be talking about stuff he don't know, and he be sounding real sure about it. And that makes me be like, Chill, no.
Stop, Chill. You know what you're
Wait a
about,
minute,
bro.
Dre. Chill told Blue, you need to brush up on your racism. Baby, I was killing myself laughing. And he said it was with a straight face. You just need to brush up on your racism. I was like,
what show was this? What show did I miss?
We just be popping up on each other randomly.
Was it the Pantheon? Was it the Pantheon?
I think it was. Yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. Pantheon.
Yeah, because he told Blue, you need to brush up on your racism. I was like, oh.
When he was breaking down the
when
budget for Wakanda Forever.
Oh god.
This is a dismantle this entire argument.
Jill said, I don't care what paperwork you got there.
That's what it was. Cause we were talking credits that you get for the marketing and all that stuff where you film it. And Tina had it pulled up, and Chill was still like, I don't care.
Oh, I did watch that. I did watch that.
You was
I did
there.
watch
We
that.
all was there. This was the last time we all got together, and we stayed up super late. I love Chill. I love you.
Oh,
I'm
that's
not
what
talking about you behind your back. I love you, Chill.
Nah, I talk about Chill to his face. He know it. That's my dog.
Oh, that's right.
man.
That's right. That's right. All
I
right,
just
Tina.
shook my head. I just
All right,
shook my head.
Tina. Miss Tina, Miss Mintigasm, come on, we waiting on you now. I
Get
ain't
a
gonna
little
lie,
long in the tooth here. Come on now.
Look, my stomach and my back starting to touch.
Mhm.
I need some fiddles.
Aisha, I love Chill. I wish I could bring Chill to come hang out with
That's
me.
right. That was a
in
4-hour show. I
Florida.
was like,
Yeah, I would love to have. I would love to bring him down here and show him some real racism. I would love to do that. Cause I was like, what y'all got? Whatever racism y'all got in Canada, that ain't it, my guy.
Listen. He can't top the racism that I get here in Alabama. So I don't even want to hear it. I don't want to hear it.
Hold on, wait a minute. You in Alabama, you're in Florida, you're in Georgia.
No, I'm in
you're
Florida.
what?
I'm in Florida.
You in Florida too?
Florida.
I thought
Yeah.
you was in Georgia.
I go everywhere.
Dual
Okay,
stating.
I'm
I'll
living.
be
I live in Florida, but
everywhere.
my family in Georgia.
Oh,
And
okay.
Florida.
And then
I got family everywhere.
Mika, you were in North Carolina. Racist towns. I'm just saying.
We
He can
just
come to
all the
Missouri. Hey, look,
Confederate
Confederates.
states.
That like he can come to Missouri, Confederate state. I drop him in the Ozarks and be like, "There you go, buddy. Have fun." All right, Tina's up here. Tina. We want to hear you. We want to hear your buddy Guy story.
I gotta drop
Hey,
off, y'all. I
everybody.
got somewhere to be in the morning, but I'm gonna be listening to y'all. But I gotta drop off, but I'm gonna listen.
All right.
All right,
Peace,
now
peace,
Tina.
peace.
All right, Tina 2. Tina 1.
Peace.
Okay, Tina 2. You can go.
Hey y'all, what's happening?
What up? What
What's
up?
going on?
So Friday I went to see the movie, right? And so when we was coming out of the movie, I had my little poster, and I was like, man, it'd be dope, man. I gotta go back up to Legends to check out Buddy Guy one day and get him to sign this, because I had no idea that he was in the movie. It was such a great grand surprise to me that he was in that first post-credit scene. I ain't see the second one. Was it two of them?
It's two
Because I
post-credit
wound up
scenes.
leaving.
Post-credit.
The
Okay,
second
cool.
post-credit
So-
scene is not as significant.
It's like a advertisement. That's what I took it as. Is how dope he can sing, and you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So after that post-credit scene, and we was watching some of the credits and listening to some of that music, another chick was supposed to come with us. Another friend of mine was supposed to come with us and move. I said, let's call her and see where she at. She happened to be at Buddy Guy's. I was like, you at Buddy Guy's for real? She was like, yeah, fall through. So I went, had my poster in my hand. He happened to be there. I'm like, if all the goddamn signs and stars ain't aligning tonight, great movie. I'm been finna have a good time, listen to some blues. He's there. So usually to even talk to Buddy Guy, you gotta buy a t-shirt and like stand in line, all these white people, and had him sign it. I went to his man, his right hand. I was like, yo, I just came back from seeing Sinners, and I held up my little poster, and I was like, I didn't even know he was in the movie. Do you think he'll sign? He was like, go on, ask him. So I asked him, and he signed it. And I was like, buddy, I didn't even know you was in the movie. I was like, where they do that at? How did that happen? He was like, they called me up, and my people worked it out, and it was great. The whole thing for him was that just having the blues recognized, because it's such blues is still popular. It's popular in Chicago still.
Yeah,
but among
it's popular here in Kansas City too. Since we got the jazz district, it's popular
like,
here.
St. Louis, Kansas City,
the Midway up.
Some places down south still, but for the most part, I ain't saying it's a dying art form, but white people love it.
Yeah.
Oh
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? When
Yeah.
you go to blues clubs,
It's getting a resurgence.
it's
I
a
know.
lot.
It is getting a resurgence. It's coming back hard. Alabama,
Yeah.
some parts of Georgia,
Yeah.
And
like they
even when
got
Memphis.
you
group. Yeah.
go,
Memphis Sin.
even when you go and you hang out and you seeing blues bands, like when I was on the blues scene, my lead singer was a white dude, you
Mm.
know.
Mm.
But that's how I got on the blues scene at the time. You know, Coco Taylor was still alive. Like, you know, there's a lot of people, you know, still alive doing the music. But Buddy is the tried and true. He's still at the front watching his money walk through the door. And like I said, you can't even talk to him unless you buy a t-shirt. He'll stand there and take a little picture, but you can't be there too long because you can't see his money walking around. You know, but he's a gracious man with with the little time he gives. You know, he'll stand there and talk to you and answer questions and all of that. But I just want to say that I ain't want to hold y'all. But the fact that he was in the movie, man, we cried and laughed and leaned forward through this whole fucking movie. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it was outstanding. I didn't know what to expect. Like I said earlier in the comment, I watched one teaser trailer and I watched like one early press thing Ryan did. Other than that, I didn't watch any press on it or anything because I didn't want to keep being excited for it. I said, let me just mark this down in my calendar and I'm gonna go check it out. IMAX, say less. So I saved up my little coins and I went and me and my friend went and it was magnificent. Worth all the price of admission. And just that night, just for everything to line up where I could speak to Buddy and talk to him about like the movie and everything for the little bit of time he gave me, it was great. And he graciously signed it in silver ink so that you could see his little signature. It was great. It was a good time. And when I hit Dre up, it was late as fuck. We had just left the Blues Club.
It was
late.
hella late.
I'm calling you I'm hitting you up so late, but I saw that movie. Man, I am thoroughly impressed. And I just wanted to what's the big dude name? Omar. He said when you leave that movie, you just want to talk about it with somebody. And that's how I was all Friday evening. I just went but nobody had seen it. All in the Blues Club. I'm like, yo, if you like blues, go see that movie. You'll be thoroughly happy. I'm selling the movie like it's my movie. You know, but to have that Mississippi Chicago connection, like, you know, just when he was like in Chicago, he was like, man, fuck Chicago, we came home. I was like, damn, but I get it. You know, you want to deal with the devil, you know. You want to deal with the devil, you know, because up here in Chicago, and Dre, you can attest to this, in the Midwest, it's still kind of segregated. You know, even today, like especially here in Chicago, and people just kind of smile in your face, and you can see the knife behind their back, you know, and snitch and all kinds of stuff, you know, and so I understood that line. It must, as much as it hurt my heart to hear him say "fuck Chicago," I understood what he was saying because that devil you know line hit different. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's it.
He said Chicago ain't nothing but a Mississippi with buildings.
Dude,
that's exactly what he said.
In a real way. And at least you know who you're dealing with there, and you got more people that know you, you know. And I'm sure in the 30s in Chicago, it was even more ruthless because now you got to watch out for drive-bys and dirty cops and same shit, you know, now, but just a little less pronounced. But you know, gangsters and you know, magnificent flick though. Magnificent flick. I liked everything about it. The writing, like everything. Like I am very touched by that movie. I'm super touched by that movie.
It was a super excellent movie. What the hell? All right. Thank you so much, Cena, for coming in and sharing that with us.
Thanks, y'all.
Nah, no problem. We'll talk to you later because Mika and me and
Yes, sir.
we all got that look. I'm hungry and sleepy.
Yeah, I'm finna get ready for work myself. Talk to y'all soon.
All right, now,
Peace.
Tina, thank you again for sharing.
Yep.
All right. Closing words. Anybody got anything? Closing
Go see
time.
Sinners. Go see Sinners. Make it get it up to 200, 300, or everybody he needs so that folks will get the hush in their mouths about.
Mika 10% of the 10% of that already.
And we love Mika for that. I'm going back. I'm
look.
going back Wednesday. So we
I'm
love
going
Mika
to
for
AM.
that.
Look, I'm gonna try to go back to AMC. Look, I'm gonna go back
Sneak
to
them in there,
AMC.
just slide them real slow.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell them. I'm saying, hey, look, because I still got. What's crazy is that I got the AMC app, so it ain't like I did not buy them tickets. It's still on there, and then they gave me these to replace them, and you gave me. I want 7 real tickets. I want tickets that don't say 24 on it, and then I'm going right into the movie with one of these tickets. So
to seeing it 4 times, that was enough for me.
It's enough. Would you go
Are
again?
you sure?
I know I'm positive, like, because like it's great to go and see it. It's great to go see it once, twice, maybe 3 times. But once you see it that 4th time, like, because you already know
everything.
You know everything. You already know what's gonna happen. I was quoting lines, and I think I annoyed the dude that was sitting next to me because I was talking, like saying the lines during the movie. I had already seen it, so I literally posted on Threads. I said, "This is my 4th and possibly final time seeing Sinners in theaters. I will wait for my still box to be mailed to me."
Can I address something real quick before we go? I know people was like, Jonathan Major should have been in this movie. This is the perfect movie for him. No, he shouldn't.
I saw that on Threads.
There was not a part. There's not a part where Jonathan should have been in this movie.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Remember, we talked about it earlier because we didn't, but now, like you said, watching the movie, you're right. Now,
there's no part.
There was no part in there for Jonathan Majors at all. Like no part. So
so no, Jonathan shouldn't have been. I don't care if he still got movie clothes from the 30s. You know what I'm saying? There's no way in hell he should have been in this movie.
Mr.
No,
Burlap himself. Yeah, no, he's not been in there. Nah.
Yeah, I just say, if y'all, when you do go see it again, make sure y'all pay attention to those buzzards that's flying most of the time.
I saw that. Nope, I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw the buzzards flying.
I saw it, but I didn't. I gotta see it a second time. Yeah.
Well, no, because the first time you see him is in the distance when Stack and Smoke are at the juke joint. So
when they first get there, right?
Yeah, when they first get there, you see them, and I was like, the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, there's birds, but then the second time after I kept seeing them, I was like, oh, vultures.
Weren't they present at the KKK people's house?
Yep.
Yep.
Anytime to me, I thought it was yeah. Well, I thought it was Remick. Anytime, you know what I'm saying? Because it was the juke. Well,
because they were they showed up at night, right? At the juke joint.
At the juke joint, yeah.
But Remick wasn't there yet.
But he wasn't there yet. Yeah, he wasn't there yet. But that's what I thought it was that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you did. You slept on your rating, huh?
Make sure y'all pay if you go and see it multiple times, there's stuff that you miss the first time you saw it. So I done seen it 4 times now. So I was like, there ain't nothing else I missed. I'm good.
You in the Center fan club? They're gonna have to start sending you like free merch and all type of stuff.
Like you gonna have a hoodie, you gonna have the popcorn bucket.
I'm just saying, Michael B. Jordan is heavy on Threads right now. He is liking and commenting anything that you like. Most of the stuff that's been posted about Sinners, he is liking and commenting and reposting it. I'm just waiting for my chance. I'm like, yes, I want to see one of my posts, and I'm gonna get some free shit.
Get some free.
Well, get the posting on. Post one of his sex scenes or something. I don't know.
Whoa.
Jesus Lord, to Pam.
What?
Pam.
Motion
I
in
don't-
the ocean.
That's
Look,
right.
I don't want to be looking up like I do with Bo, and then I'll be like, "Come on, Bo, again." Like I be trying to
the
read your stuff, and here you
nipples
go,
everywhere.
naked.
Nipples
naked.
everywhere. That boy have nipples everywhere.
Who be in his comments, man?
Hush. Hush. I see that too. But I just be seeing nipples everywhere and I be like, Lord.
Wait a minute, who be in his comments?
We ain't gonna say it out in the air.
All right, so this has been another episode of the Blurred AF experience.
Oh man.
Yeah.
The
All
only
right.
thing I would say, the only thing I would say about Jonathan Majors is that if there was a prequel and he could play their daddy, or if there was a prequel and he could play a friend or something,
Yeah, he
that's
don't
it.
need to be.
They play cousins.
Yeah, he don't need to be
Yeah.
beating on nobody.
Yeah, he don't need to be beating on. He don't need. Look, he don't need to be beating on nobody.
I
He
think
don't
he
need to
could
play
be a
their daddy.
friend.
Not
He
in
could
not
be a
in not in
friend.
that capacity. No.
Yeah, he could be a friend or something. He could be short stack or something. He could be
Not short stack.
Short stack.
he could be a friend.
That man is 6'1". We is not calling that man short stack.
Short stack.
Now me
He
on the
could
other hand, I could
he
be in
could
the
like
sequel.
he could be like Sammy's older brother or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because Sammy had a lot of siblings.
He said he's popping up up in people's comments on their channels too.
Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan is.
Yeah.
Well, why
Well,
he
you
ain't
need to
popped
pop
up in
in
this shit?
mine.
Yeah.
Matter of fact,
Yeah.
I call. Hey, Jonathan, tell Michael B. Jordan to comment on my shit real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. He's because he'll repost you on his stories too on Instagram.
Send him the link, Dre.
But you gotta have a blue check in order to get that.
Send
I
him
got
the
a
link.
blue. I pay for my blue check mark.
I don't know if he's on
So-
Twitter. I don't know if he's
I'll-
on Twitter. But yeah, he's reposting. He's doing a lot of reposting.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, hell, shit. I mean, people are really into this movie, and the what people don't really understand right now, because you're so close to everything. Hey, start posting that. Start showing the fans that you really actually care about, what they got going on. So I'm most definitely about it. The more that he could do, the better. So I'm with it. I'm most definitely with it. All right. Any final thoughts? What you guys got going on right now that you want to talk about before we go?
I just did a blue episode of Blues News, so I'll be chopping that up and posting it. Shannon Sharp getting sued.
I heard about that.
Shannon came out with the thunder because
He did.
Busby.
I said-
Busby. Oh yeah, I got
No,
something for you.
man.
As soon as I see Tony Busby, I was like, he's done. And
He's done.
Shannon hit
I
him
don't
with that
think he
Uno
know how
reverse
weak-
card.
Yeah, I don't think he know how weak that Jay-Z move made him look. Like anytime his name show up, I think anybody gonna be like, "Oh, nah, let's kill him. We going for the. We not finna settle nothing. We just finna go." You know what I'm saying? So that, my centers review, and what else did I do? Do something else. I can't remember the other one. But yeah, that's Shannon. Once I was reading the text message, I said, "Oh no, this girl ain't finna get a lick of money."
Well, Shannon came out with his lawyer on
Yeah, I
his,
know.
on his Instagram,
Yeah.
and I read out them text messages.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
was like, I wish. Well, we did. They did it with Jonathan, but it wasn't to this capacity.
It ain't Tony
Yeah.
Busby.
It ain't Tony Busby either. So,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. Tony Busby just man.
Yeah, ain't about to get a lick. They said
Nope.
50 mil, windmills, something,
Yeah.
Tony Mills, Lakers and pie.
Lakers and
Lakers and
pie.
pie. What you got, Mika?
Nothing.
Nothing. You still on vacation?
Nope.
You back?
I just finished filming a movie.
Mika's a
Okay.
superstar.
No.
No, I'm not.
Trying to get
I Freaky Jason said I can. Let me shut up.
Stop. Don't do that. Don't
Nah,
do that.
Freaky
So stupid. Cinematic Nightmares, top 5 will be dropping another. I ain't dropped one this Sunday because I was
You was on
tired.
vacation?
I was on vacation too.
Mhm.
I'll drop a top 5 this upcoming Sunday. Gonna record the I can't remember my own stuff. Like
I was like that too. Yeah.
Behind the Shadows, psychological horror this month. So finish out April with psychological horror, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do for May. I haven't decided yet.
Is that J-Lo movie with
The Cube?
who?
Cube
With William D'Onofrio? What?
I
And
don't
that wasn't. Ain't that his thing?
He said, I don't know.
Mhm.
Oh.
You know, I never seen that movie, right?
Oh, okay. Oh,
I ain't
I
never seen Cube.
I was wondering, would that classify as
It does
horror?
psychological horror. Yeah.
Alright.
Like Black Swan.
Yeah, that's my
Those type
movie,
of
Black
movies.
Swan. I love Black Swan. For some reason, that was a dope movie to me.
So I'll be recording that, and then I'm debating because next month is 31 days.
Mm-hmm.
I'm debating if I'm gonna do 31 days of horror, and I was gonna do 31 days of vampire movies since Sinners came out.
Oh, can I get in on that?
No.
They're videos.
I know.
I gotta
I'm doing it.
record
Let me
them.
do one.
He said, I.
Let me do one.
Not we.
Fright Night. Can I do Fright Night?
No.
Dang.
So yeah, I'm still debating. I got what 9 days to make a decision.
Can I do John Carpenter's Vampires?
No.
She said, do it
Wow.
on your own channel.
It'll be for
And
her.
yes, I'm not going to post the 31 days on Instagram. I'm posting it on.
The two.
There
I'm
you
posting it
go.
on YouTube.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
On YouTube.
There you
Mhm.
go. Get that money.
Actually,
Sister
I
Pam.
actually came up with a system. So Sunday, YouTube will get it, and then
Mhm.
Monday, Instagram will get the video for the top
There you
fives.
go. There you go.
Sister Pam, what you got? What you got going on, Sister Pam?
Well, depending on my insomnia is kicking in on me, and I won't be sleeping. So you just stay tuned for me doing my little insomniatic lives that I've been doing. We're
Pam
gonna-
be tripping me out. I get an alert from
Are
Pam
you-
to be
are-
in the morning.
Are you gonna talk about the Shannon Sharp
I
situation?
am going to go back and review it because I've been out and about with my mom, so I didn't get all the things. But I'm going to review it and I'm going to have a little conversation about it. I'm
Mhm.
also because Blue, we gonna get together. We go talk about Diddy and everything Diddy up until it's time for his thing, and just go
Mhm.
over that. We're definitely gonna go do a couple of lives on that, and then I'm just gonna be doing my celebrity news, whatever's happening out here with the celebrities. I'm gonna go over it, and any movies that I'm gonna go out and see, I'm going to review. I think May is gonna be a little packed with some movies that I'm going to review, but that's okay. But that's all I got going on over here. Yeah, you'll get that little notice because it's easier for me to go live than it is for me to sit here and prepare for a thing, because I think I'd be better off the dome.
Got you. And then well, tomorrow I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. I haven't thought about it yet, and I'm not even going to lie to you. I did have a situation. I was on TMZ on Friday, and I think this is my last time being on TMZ. Period, because of how I got blown off. You remember what's his name? Haley Joel Osment or whatever his name is.
Yeah, he got
Osment.
arrested.
When he got arrested, I did that commentary, right? So you know
What
how
he got arrested for?
anytime
Drugs?
wait, he was high,
I thought so.
allegedly, and drunk,
Yeah.
allegedly on the booger sugar,
Booger
and he
sugar.
went and said, and he went and called the officer a
called him
racist Jewish name, which was a K. I don't even know what that means. You know
Oh,
what
I
I'm
know.
saying? They
I
bleeped it
know
out.
it is.
Me,
I don't know what it
Don't
is.
you black or white? Michael Jackson said it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
All I
So,
want to know is that they don't really care about us.
well,
They
he said
tried to
that-
make him take it out, but he left it. He was like, "Nah, you finna get this word."
So he said that to the officer, and he also called him a Nazi. So
Mm.
I said what they say about when we just retweet a certain book or movie, or
Yeah.
we just say something that I feel like he should apologize, to the Jewish community. Go down to the Holocaust Museum and go talk to rabbis and all of that. You know
Right.
what I got told? I'm tired of the fake outrage. So,
Yeah.
so the
Who
episode
said it?
Harvey.
Harvey.
Wow.
The episode hasn't shown up on TMZ yet online because I'm clipping that shit, and I went back and looked at everything that was anti-Semitic that any black person ever said and how TMZ covered it. And I got a little video. I don't care if I ever come back. I got well over 2 years out of it.
I don't care if I ever come back. But what you're not gonna do, you're not gonna sit up here and you
And
gonna
dismiss you.
disrespect black people when they say something what you deem anti-Semitic, and then blow me off and talk about that's fake outrage. Okay, cool. I got a little video for y'all. So
seems like don't nobody like TMZ. None of the black folks.
I'm just saying it's just the experience is that you said something that it's okay for a white person to say something anti-Semitic. You know what I'm saying? He shouldn't have gone. He apologized yesterday. You need to go take your ass down there and talk to them, talk to the rabbis. Go down there and go to that Holocaust museum because that's what y'all tell us to do. But then when that doesn't happen, oh, it's fake outrage. And then went to the next subject. I'm like, oh wow, okay, cool. So I'm just waiting for the video to pop up, and I'm going to record my part, and I'm going to show all of the receipts that I got. And that's it. But tomorrow I don't know what I'm doing. So be prepared for whatever I got.
Oh, and yeah. Fuck The Last of Us, Dre.
Don't you do my show like that. I ain't gonna lie. Mika, I do miss doing The Last of Us recap with you. But you ain't watching the show either.
I'm not watching the show.
Exactly. You ain't watching the show either. So
I don't have Max anymore, so there's that.
Now Mika.
I don't have Max
anymore. Okay. I'm gonna talk to you offline. All right. So
I was watching a whole show on Max when I was at my mom's house, and I was like, oh damn. Can't finish the show.
But we'll talk offline. But yeah, so yeah, that ticked me off. I'm not gonna lie. Roberta ain't been in here. I felt so fucked up. I'm like, I'm probably never gonna come back in, never gonna come back on this show ever again. I'm just ignore the fuck out of them or whatever. But like, nah, I'm cool. I'm cool. So yeah, that pissed me the fuck off because when it comes to Kanye West saying anti-Semitic, y'all got whole little things that y'all say about him. With Deshaun Watson, Kyrie, I'm almost definitely bringing. Oh, trust me, I went back, I looked it up, and I bookmarked every video that I need so I could be able to do my compilation. Say, am I wrong? Am I wrong? So yeah, I'm not playing with them.
Kanye don't need no more attention.
Yeah, Deshaun Jackson, Steven Jackson, Kanye West, Kyrie Irving, all within that whole entire year, there was a whole big thing on TMZ about all of them. But then he said something, and I'm tired of the fake outrage. Okay, all right, I need you to have that same energy for them.
Right.
So anyway, I'm done. I'm off my rant. Let's get out of here. I'm hungry. All right, and we said we wanted to try to make this 4 hours. It's 3 hours and 22 minutes.
Man.
Let's get out of here. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of The Blur AF. Make sure to like and share, subscribe to Pam Entertainment Television. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Cinematic Nightmares over there. That way. Okay. Oh, there, my finger. There we go. Over there, Blues. What are you doing, Blue? Over there, Blue's house. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so you never ever miss one of our videos. Get it to next time. We'll holler at you guys later. Peace and vibe power. I see y'all in the morning. Where's the outro at? Because we all got to get out of here. And I'm tired. I'm hungry and like ass. Like ass.